Alright,
This will be
we are live right now on Dat Wrasslin podcast. Welcome to the podcast, guys. Here with
what's going on?
Here with Sheep,
What up, Duck?
Ben and Soulamazin. Dat Wrasslin podcast. So what we're gonna do here today is basically go over the shows real quick because not all of us can stay for this podcast because unfortunately we got stuff to do and it's gonna be kind of long of a podcast, so we kind of have to go breeze through it. So we're gonna start with Extreme Rules, not Raw, because Extreme Rules was last weekend. So yeah, let's get into that. Let's talk about the pre-show. There was 2 matches on the pre-show. Sin Cara and Almas. Basically, Almas won that match. And then we had, which was one of the better matches of the pre-show, of course, was the New Day versus Sanity in a tables match, I believe, right?
Yep.
Yeah, tables match.
Yeah. And Sanity did win. What do you guys think about that match?
Good match. Some have said that the first match was better, but I disagree. I think that the second match it could have been better, but it was a pre-show match. They had time constraints. They did what they could. They could have been better. They could have stole the whole show if they wanted to, but I'll take it for what it is. I like the outcome. I like the results. Sanity should be booked strong right now. I'm all for it.
Yep.
Agreed.
I agree. I liked how it came down. I wasn't sure if Sandy was going to win or not. I had an assumption Sandy was going to win. Obviously, Young delivered that elbow to Kingston and put him through the table. But Kingston through the table, that was pretty good. I mean, it was nothing crazy, but, we can all admit that Extreme Rules wasn't really extreme. So, I mean, we've seen better things. So starting off Extreme Rules, I will admit something here. I didn't see the first 2 matches or the pre-show, so I didn't see the next match here, which is the Deleters of the World versus the B Team. I seen the preview clips that they kind of showed during the pay-per-view. You know how they show what happened before, whatever.
Yeah.
But yeah, B Team defeated the Deleters of the World. I'm not sure how they won. I don't quite remember, but all I remember seeing is them celebrating.
They won by pinning Matt Hardy.
Oh, so it was a clean match?
It was clean.
Okay.
There was a miscommunication from Hardy and Wyatt, and a lot of people don't know, but right after Matt Hardy tweeted, maybe it's time for us to go our separate ways or something like that. So maybe a Deleters of World breakup coming soon?
Deleters of World breakup coming soon. I don't know how I feel about that. I mean, I guess I would understand
it's boring.
It.
If they were gonna do something good with either the broken gimmick or with Bray Wyatt, they would have already done it. So I'm done with it.
I could see that, especially with Jeff Hardy losing the United States title. I could definitely see Jeff Hardy switching over to Raw, teaming up.
He's going to be recovering for a while, I bet.
Yeah.
At least a couple months. So I think we can rule Jeff out for at least 30 days.
Yeah.
Well, that could be when it all happens. Maybe the Deleters of the Worlds will carry on as are until then.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah. See, I understand. I don't really want it to go away. I want them to work on it, but I guess I understand because I don't know. It's not working out, but I wish they could work it out. I'm trying to figure out if that's gonna happen, they're gonna split up the Deleters Worlds. If there's gonna be actually a feud with the B Team, or do you think the B Team maybe on Raw this week?
I think the B Team's gonna retain, and they're gonna move on to something else. I guarantee you.
Yeah.
Because you can't see them beating like another big team, like like somebody like AOP. You can't see them beating AOP, so they would have to fight someone like Breezango or I don't know, Titus Worldwide. Are they in Raw? I believe so. I don't remember the tag teams in Raw or SmackDown, but we'll see what happens. Anyways, the next match for Extreme Rules, which was one of the worst matches to me. It was Finn Balor versus Baron Corbin. Even though I didn't watch the match, I know already that it was a bad match just by the card itself. Balor, defeated Corbin, of course, with the coup de grace, I believe, and rolled him up for the win. I remember seeing that little clip there. Any feelings about this match? Do you feel like should have been different, or what your thoughts about it, guys?
I think it was a filler match, and it's pretty boring to me. I don't like Finn Balor being put in this role in a feud with Baron Corbin. I think Finn Balor deserves better than that. I mean, at least he won, but I'm just irritated by Finn Balor not being in the title picture anymore. I think it's ridiculous.
Yeah.
Well, that's an argument I keep making. Whose place does he take?
Roman Reigns.
Roman Reigns.
Okay.
If he wants to go, say Roman Reigns.
I understand what you guys saying.
Either make Roman the champion or don't. I'm tired of it.
Okay.
How many opportunities are you going to give the same guy over and over again?
Yeah.
Finn Balor literally got the title stripped for him due to a real injury, and then just doesn't get a chance again.
That was pretty unfair. I think that's been one of the... Yeah, I don't get that either.
Yeah, we're trying to pay attention
he does
to that a little bit, but we gotta breeze through this episode here because half of us gotta leave. So we're trying to get through it, and plus we have Extreme Rules covered. So anyways, going through the next one, next matchup here, which, okay, I can say this is a bad match as well, but it was pretty funny. I'm gonna admit, that was the only entertaining part was, Ellsworth fucking doing the stuff that always happens. They always have some kind of trick up their sleeves to get out of that cage or whatever, and it always happens. I don't like these cage matches, shark cage matches, because they're supposed to be up there so they, have no interference, but they always interfere. Makes no sense. But anyways, we have Carmella picking up the win in this match. How you guys feel about this match?
Boy, that was terrible. Yeah, it actually was funny when James Ellsworth actually got stuck. It was like hanging upside down. That was actually a little bit funny, but I do have to actually say this right now. The reason why Asuka did actually lose was because, okay, if Asuka did not actually pay attention to Ellsworth, she would have won. Just saying.
Exactly. I feel like this match made Asuka look unintelligent.
Yeah.
I feel like she just came off of the biggest win streak in wrestling history, and you're gonna tell me that she doesn't have the strategic mind state to protect herself in a match? She's gonna get distracted by a guy hanging out of a shark cage and lose the match. Like, that makes her look completely ignorant. To be
here's what I think creatives, but what creatives booking on is they've got it in their minds that if they keep this up and they keep shoving Carmella down our throats, then we'll legitimately hate her. And she'll be a great heel. She is a great heel because a lot of people genuinely don't like her, and the people that do like her, they like her because she's pretty. But they don't. Nobody likes her because she's a good wrestler, because she's talented. She's a good. She's got some mic skills, but her promos aren't even all that.
But I agree. But should you really jeopardize Asuka's
I don't agree.
reputation
I don't
for
agree with their.
Carmella?
I do not agree with the strategy. They should have, if anything, have her do a whole bunch of heel stuff and then lose and then attack Asuka from behind after she lost and have it be a whole bunch of dastardly heel shit like that, and that would have went over just fine. But no, they're gonna continue to shove Carmella down our throats.
I mean,
guess.
I wouldn't mind if Asuka lost this match due to, you know, interference and being distracted, but the amount of time that she spent paying attention to James Ellsworth, and she was laughing. She had a smile on her face, kicking him and stuff, like she was having a good time. That's not Asuka. Asuka is nobody's ready for Asuka. She's ready to fight anybody.
Well,
her
here's
head's in
the thing.
Game. They did a total 360 on her and made her look like she didn't even care about the match.
I kind of understand from a point of view. I mean, is she really? Is that really her motto now? Nobody's ready for Asuka. If you look at it, she's been defeated by a few people in her time in, you know, the SmackDown brand. So, I mean, once her streak got defeated, once her streak got defeated, it's really no point of that motto anymore. Is nobody ready for Asuka? They have they have to switch up her gimmick now.
Like,
they have to drop that line.
But the point is,
Nobody's
they took
ready
her
for Asuka.
from what she was to just a joke, basically. Like it's just like a hot or cold type of situation. There's no gray area. It's just she went from the best to the worst, like that. Like, it's just losing to Charlotte was a respectable, honorable loss. Nobody said, "Oh, Asuka sucks now." Oh, Asuka's nobody now. It's a respectable loss to arguably the best women's wrestler in the company right now. A lot would say. So, Asuka could have went on her way and been just fine. They don't have to just say, "Oh, now we're gonna use you as a pawn to make Carmella look good as a heel." Like, why throw her in that pit? Throw a new up-and-coming woman in that position. Don't just totally crush Asuka.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
I feel what you're saying.
Now, who's gonna in the near future? Who's gonna what fans are gonna still respect Asuka the way that they used to?
The main roster, the people who never saw her on NXT probably think she's a joke. They don't get it. They probably don't understand.
She was undefeated on freaking NXT though.
That's the point.
Yeah.
So yeah, I agree. Yeah, they should. Asuka definitely should have won, but WWE's gonna do what WWE's gonna do.
True. Anyways, moving on to the next match. Here is the United States Championship match. Jeff Hardy versus Shinsuke.
Which was very...
This match I expected to be a little bit more than what it was. I was hoping for a good match, but I think this match ended the way it ended is because of Jeff Hardy's supposed injury, which I quite don't understand yet. I don't know if he actually has a real bad injury or what, because on Monday he did hit that Swanton bomb and took a lot of basically bumps from Randy Orton. So I don't know if him losing the title and losing against that rematch is to put him out of action, suppose, like a setup to put him out of action so he can recover. I mean, I guess he had to kind of give his great match. I know I'm kind of merging between Monday and this because I'm trying to make sense of it right now, if you know what I mean. So, yeah, Nakamura won twice in a row against Jeff, and I'm not sure if there's going to be a continued feud after Jeff Hardy supposedly comes back or what's going to happen. Because we have Randy Orton now in the mix.
Well, so, Jeff Hardy's going to be out a while. I don't see him returning to SmackDown.
Yeah.
I'm sensing a theme here, Cole.
I see him joining back to the match.
Yeah, he sure seems to like that, Michael. Maybe a little too much.
So the match at Extreme Rules, what happened though was basically he got low blowed right away off the bat by Shinsuke. and that caused Jeff Hardy to lose right there. The referee wasn't looking when it happened. He had his back turned, and it went for...
Yeah, this was actually before the match actually even happened.
Yeah, it was before the bell rang. Yeah. So, what's your feeling about this match? In this whole thing, this whole ordeal, I should say. How you guys feeling?
Well, it was... I think it was fine because I understand the need for it. Jeff Hardy's hurt. He needs time off. They needed a way to write him off. They probably needed a way to write him off without him doing any more damage to the body he's been brutalizing for the past 20 years. So, yeah, they booked a quick finish with a surprise, and I mean, for the upset that I know it caused a lot of fans, I'm sure some of them look at it as, well, you know, we got RKO. We got a return. You know, you got to see you got to be optimistic about it. It's not all bad. And you got to see the reasons behind things. He's hurt. He needs time off. This is a good thing. This gets us a better, healthier Jeff Hardy in the long run instead of what we got right now. So it's for the best.
I've been a Jeff Hardy fan since I was old enough to understand who Jeff Hardy was, and in saying that, I can say I wasn't disappointed at all. I love Shinsuke Nakamura. I have no problem with him taking the belt, and he's gonna be a great heel champion. And I think it's about time that he wins the title.
Yeah.
Even though he hasn't been in the WWE for that long, but still, he deserves it.
I agree. I totally agree with you guys. Yeah, I totally agree. Hopefully Jeff Hardy gets better and can do some crazy ass stunts off the ladder.
Definitely.
I don't know. I think those days are numbered.
Yeah, you think so? Yeah. So
He's
the
getting
next
up there in
match.
age. If you guys didn't know, the Hardy Boys debuted in, I believe, 1992.
Oh man, yeah, it was a while ago.
Wow,
I remember.
That was the year I was born.
I was a kid.
So. And I'm 26, so that's how long these guys have been wrestling professionally. So.
Yeah, I've been watching them since I was younger too, as I can remember. But
26 years of doing the type of shit they've been doing, you can imagine.
Yeah. No shit like Shane O'Mac, but Shane O'Mac never really done it like, you know.
Yeah.
All the time. Extreme Rules next match, Steel Cage match, Braun Strowman versus Kevin Owens. I kind of found this match as a joke, basically. I don't know why Bleacher Report gave it an A, because I didn't see nowhere in this match that would give it an A. I mean, the match was a match.
Well, you gotta think.
The ending of it.
Yeah, well, that's the only thing.
You gotta look at it as.
But it wasn't.
You gotta look at it more as entertainment and not as a competitive match between two
but
wrestlers.
we've seen 10 times better than that. That's the thing. It's like, if you're gonna do something, make it better. I mean, it could have, like, the match itself could have been better. I mean, most of it was just Kevin Owens trying to escape out of the freaking steel cage.
As if
the handcuff.
I feel as if I could
The handcuff gag, I gotta admit, that was to spice it up a bit. I mean, I understand that, the handcuff gag part. I mean, yeah, they did add some spice to it, but they could have added some more spice to it other than just that handcuffed shit. But
well, there were some good spots. The spot with the cage door, when he slammed the cage door on his face.
Yeah, but you'll see that in everything, basically, every steel cage.
But there were good spots, and I mean, it wasn't. You have to take into account that this pay-per-view had a 30-minute Iron Man match on it. So, and it's a cross-branded pay-per-view.
Yeah.
So it has a lot more matches too. So they had to keep these things, some of them short and simple. Some of them had to lose time.
There were 10 matches on the main card.
I'm not necessarily thinking this needed to be a 15-minute brawl. You know, it's
Plus, it would
Braun
this match
Strowman
being any
killing
longer,
Kevin Owens. That's what it was supposed to be.
This match being any longer than it was would have made it unbelievable.
Yeah, I understand that,
Braun
but
just crushed Kevin.
I'm not saying that it should have been longer or anything like that. I'm just saying they should have had more spice, more entertainment to it. Most of it was just boring to me, other than the end part. The shot, kind of like shot.
I could argue
and
defend for this being an A-rated match.
I would have
I'd give it a B.
B. Yeah, I'd just say I'd give it a B. Yeah.
I could argue for A, personally.
Ben, you got anything about this match?
I found it entertaining.
Yeah, I just like the last bit of it, but the bit of at the end, like where Braun actually literally threw Kevin Owens off the cage and threw an announce table.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, you mean it wasn't figuratively?
I don't know. Yeah, I don't know like where they're gonna go with Braun, but I could see big things happening between Braun and Kevin Owens. That's what I just think.
I'm still hoping for a team up. I'm still hoping for Kevin Strowens.
Oh god.
Kevin Strowens, GG.
Well, you almost always see alliances form in
matches. We've got Mr.
A C? You give it a C? Yeah, that's pretty. I don't know, but maybe a C plus or a B around there. But yeah, moving into the next match. The next match was kind of disappointing for me because I really wanted to see something. So what happened was, before this match even started, it was like way before the show started, right? It was like during it was like during the pre-show where the Bludgeon Brothers attacked Kane and Daniel Bryan, and basically the Bludgeon Brothers like hurt Kane's leg. I think they put Kane's leg in the doorway and slammed the door on Kane's leg or ankle, I believe. That's what they did. They used a hammer. They used a hammer to slam it in. Yeah, with the door. Yeah. So Daniel Bryan came out here by himself, trying to, take on the Bludgeon Brothers by himself, and he gave his couple of minutes in the match. I think maybe like at least 10 minutes or 8 minutes in the match until Kane came out limping on his leg. Sadly, the Bludgeon Brothers did retain and kept the title because of the whole situation. I'm a little upset because from what I hear that Kane has an injury. I don't know. I think this injury is I'm not gonna say by mistake, but I think this whole thing was set up on purpose to split up the Team Hell No. I mean, short-lived Team Hell No is what I'm thinking here. Short-lived comeback. Because there's a whole other thing going on. How about Daniel Bryan hasn't re-signed a contract for WWE, and he supposedly could be on his way out, even though, his wife or whatever you want to call her is still in the WWE. But I don't know. Yeah. There's a lot of things going on in the back, so it's kind of sad for me to see them not even really get a pay-per-view match. But I don't know. We're gonna have to find out. What do you guys think about this match and the whole ordeal?
I don't know.
I don't have much to say on this. I mean, you guys know how I felt about the whole thing in the beginning.
Yeah, so, I know how you're feeling about the whole thing.
I'm not gonna say anything negative towards what happened to Kane. It's unfortunate for anybody to get injured.
Yeah, that's the thing. Is this isn't? It's another one of those cases of they had to make the best with what they had. They couldn't do anything else because before the show, Kane got injured. Like legitimately, it wasn't the backstage thing. He got injured before something with his Achilles. So it was a legitimate injury that happened, prior to everything outside of all this. So they had to write it in as Bludgeon Brothers attacked them and did this, and that's how they write it in. That's how they do a lot of those injuries. Kane was legitimately, it was either at the house show the night before, or
I didn't really read into the article on how he got injured.
Yeah, he's really got hurt.
Yeah, okay. See, I wasn't sure if they was.
Achilles, so.
I wasn't sure if it was just this whole story was written because of the whole Daniel thing or what. I wasn't really entirely sure. I know it's kind of sad that we have a podcast channel. I mean, at least some of us, you know, really do the work and look deep into shit other than read headlines. But no, I did read some articles and stuff like the whole Daniel Bryan thing. I didn't really go deep in the Kane thing.
And also, big props to Kane though for coming out and doing what he did do with a big ass brace on his ankle.
Yeah.
You know, he came out there wobbled to the ring and did what he could. So.
But see, here's the thing. I don't necessarily. I mean, I understand, you know, but to me, and I mean, it just could be me, but to me, when you put the boot on Kane, it takes the demon part away. Do you know what I mean? Like when he came out with the boot, I was like, that's gay. Like Kane wouldn't wear a boot.
Really, Sheep? After
Kane
all these, after all these promos, this is what pushes you over the top.
Yeah, Kane wouldn't wear a boot.
It didn't take the demon away when he said Justin Timberlake was a huge star.
No, see, but it's I get what you're saying.
Daniel Bryan in the middle of the ring in front of millions.
I get what you're saying, but that was for comedy.
It's the boot.
That was for comedy. This was supposed to be serious. See what I'm saying? The difference? This is something to be serious that I couldn't take serious because I get what you're saying. It's the exact same thing, and I'm making the exact same argument you were making last week. Which I get that.
No, I understand the difference, and I agree. I was just what I said was for comedy as well.
I should have known I was walking right into that one.
Yeah, you should have.
But yeah, that was my thoughts on it, and the match itself wasn't too bad. And it's like I said, they had to do the best they could with what they had, and you know, they did a Hail Mary, you know, they scrambled.
They should have just had Daniel Bryan beat them on his own.
No,
like I did on my Extreme Rules.
If Daniel Bryan would have won on his own, then that tag team championship would have been, those tag team championship belts would have been worthless. It would have been like how they did with Braun Strowman and fucking Nicholas. It was a joke, and it ended the next fucking day. So it would have probably looked really good, and everyone would have really cheered for Daniel Bryan. It would have been amazing for DB, but for Bludgeon Brothers and those tag team titles, it was not the correct decision to make, and I completely agree with you.
Well, do you think that if Kane hadn't got injured, that they would have given the belts to them?
I think so. I think they were going to have a little temporary nostalgia run, similar to how the Hardys did when they first.
Why couldn't they have had Kane come out for the short stint that he did, and Daniel Bryan kind of not completely winning the titles on his own, with a little bit of help from Kane. And then on the next week on SmackDown, they could have said, well, you know, Kane's out.
Because they don't want...
He would have been given a new partner.
No, see, they wouldn't want that to happen. Daniel doesn't want that to happen. Kane doesn't want that to happen. If they're going to come back as Team Hell No and win the titles, they gotta win the titles as Team Hell No and keep the titles and defend the titles as Team Hell No. And Kane would have been out for like a week or so. I mean, yeah, we might miss one show, but maybe we can, you know, do without one show with them. But the thing is that Kane and Daniel would have to come. Kane and Daniel would have to come out in Raw at least to celebrate or something. They had to do some kind of promo if they did win. They can't just win and then not come out. They can't pull a Brock Lesnar. Come on, man.
All I'm saying is they could have wrote something more interesting than Kane coming out in a boot.
Yeah, this could have been so many ways that could have went down, but it's whatever. It's WWE.
I think he could have had a different partner come out and help him. No, like Soul said, John Cena, brothers-in-laws.
The brother-in-laws of destruction.
Yeah, the brother-in-laws of destruction.
And Byron, he's still down after that.
Is he a pop
That did some big time damage, Michael.
He's
But
whatever.
you know,
It
John
doesn't
Cena's
matter.
a busy man. They gotta.
John Cena is a
gotta have
WWE
time.
timer. He can do whatever he wants, and he's. You can say what you want about John Cena, but the man bleeds WWE. So I got nothing
He's
to
a
say
free
to him on
agent.
that
You
front.
know, John Cena hasn't even been taking money from WWE since he was a free agent. I mean, that's what makes him a free agent. He doesn't take money. He just does what what he wants to do. Like if he wants to be in a show, he'll be in a show. He's not taking no money. That's what makes him a free agent. He can do whatever he wants without the money being binded in, without any contract.
Yeah, he just gets
Daniel Bryan offering some American
the
and
merch.
Japanese flavor.
Yeah, that's all he gets is the merch.
The
He makes a lot more money
Man, Daniel Bryan is just
without
playing with his
even
opponent.
getting paid to
offering
like
some
play
American and Japanese flavor right here.
than like other superstars at least that gets
Man,
paid to
Daniel
play.
Bryan is just playing with his
Yeah, I
opponent.
know we can throw in Brock Lesnar and all we want, but let's get on to the next match,
Yeah, it's always Brock Lesnar.
which was a pretty good match in my opinion. I think Roman Reigns was Bobby Lashley. This match was pretty good in my opinion. I liked it. Most of the match was fought outside. Obviously, there's a lot of fighting outside, in and out the ring, I should say. The thing with Roman Reigns spearing Lashley through the timekeepers area, that was pretty cool. I like that. I mean, it's been done many times before, but I don't know, it was pretty cool when Roman Reigns does it. I like Roman Reigns spears. I don't know, we can like argue in defense of that, but whatever.
Yeah, I like Bobby Lashley.
Lashley did end up winning this match, which I liked. I mean, I was hoping to see that, and I did see that, Lashley winning this match, because they're trying to put Lashley over and trying to, give Lashley his name back. This is what I hope that they're doing, is basically give Lashley, that shot that he deserves since he came back into WWE, because he's just been put into shitty ass matches and situations. I mean, this kind of makes up for it a bit. I mean, I don't know who else he would fight other than Roman Reigns at the moment. But yeah, putting Roman back in the ring and Roman doing that Superman punch and Lashley kind of dodging and hitting Reigns with that spear kind of picked up the victory there for Lashley, and that was good. So what you guys think?
Incredible!
I thought the match was maybe average at best.
Yeah, I mean, it was a
Oh, and he's
decent match.
still down, Byron.
Like I
Things
said, it was
not
pretty
really
good.
looking in very good form right now.
Danger Till.
It did go the way I predicted it, but highly disappointed with the Raw
So much
afterwards.
history here in Baltimore. In fact, it was in this
And
city that
that's all I'm
superstar
gonna say.
Billy Graham defeated Bruno
Sheep?
Sammartino for the WWE Championship.
Roman
back in
Reigns versus Bobby
1977.
Lashley was the match of the year, hands down. Is this a C- material at best?
Yeah, it's like one of my favorite rivalries.
And the best part is that we get to see it again next week. I
Oh
can't
yeah!
wait.
Oh my God! See,
This is my
it was
favorite.
good for a one-time thing. I mean,
Now it's the second time.
I said it was good because it was good on the defense of Bobby. I'm not saying that the all-out match was like amazing or was good. Like the all-out match itself, the entire match was decent. It was a decent match. I'm not gonna complain that it was bad or anything, because it wasn't bad, but it was good for Bobby. I mean, it put him over a bit. I mean, maybe the rematch will put Bobby over again if Bobby does win. If Bobby loses the rematch, then, well, this is supposed what's going to happen. Roman's going to win, because apparently that match is for, number one contender, Universal title. So, I don't know. We'll see what happens, I guess. It's mixed feelings over here with the whole Bobby shit.
Yo, imagine like Bobby Lashley just beating Roman
Well,
Reigns.
I'm going to... Bobby Lashley is going to beat Roman Reigns again. This whole thing was designed for filler to have something to do on Raw. Bobby Lashley is going to face Roman Reigns at SummerSlam. I'm sorry, Brock Lesnar.
You think so?
Ben confused me whispering in the background.
So you think Bobby is actually going to win?
Yes. He's going to face Brock Lesnar at SummerSlam.
You know what? Actually, I see something.
I'm 99.9% sure.
I don't wanna jump too ahead or anything and kind of get deep into it, but I see what you're getting at. But I got an idea in my head where I see. If you're saying Bobby's gonna fight Brock Lesnar and actually win the title, I can see Roman Reigns coming out, attacking Bobby Lashley, and then you know who comes out? Braun Strowman for the cash-in.
Braun.
That's what I see. That's what I see happening right there.
Okay, there's gonna be two ways this is gonna go. It's either gonna be, and it's not what you think, Saul. I hate to break your heart, but Bobby Lashley is not gonna win. And Bobby Lashley is not.
But my theory is pretty good, though. You can't say my.
Let me finish. Brock, here's the two scenarios. Either Roman Reigns is gonna win again, and Roman Reigns is going to face Brock Lesnar at SummerSlam, which was what all the rumors and indications are pointing to.
Yeah.
Every backstage report that I've read is saying Roman Reigns is facing Brock Lesnar at SummerSlam. So, it's either going to be that, or something's going to happen tomorrow night, or not tomorrow, but Monday night, and it's going to make it a no decision. And they're going to turn it into a triple threat match. Bobby, Roman, and Brock.
That would even be better.
Brock can lose the title without taking one of those losses.
That would be hell.
Yeah. I was actually going to say something now. As much as I do not want to see Roman Reigns get an opportunity to win the Universal title, which is now irrelevant, I'm kind of actually seeing Bobby Lashley winning this. I could see it.
I think
it's
my
Bobby
theory
Lashley,
is
and let me tell you why. Why else did the WWE offer Bobby Lashley a contract 10 years later to come back to the WWE? Why else? Just so he can play this little role, this little rivalry with Roman Reigns?
Do you honestly think that do you think the WWE? Look at all the other stupid bullshit they do with the people they're paying millions of dollars to. Do you think it's really any different for Bobby Lashley than it is for Finn Balor? Than it is for anybody?
Bobby Lashley isn't just anybody. He's headlined WrestleMania. He's a multi-time champion. He's won UFC events. He's not just anybody. He's a big name. And I think the whole sole purpose of signing him was so he could face Brock Lesnar at a pay-per-view.
If he was that big of a name, then Impact Wrestling would have been a bigger deal.
That's not true. But the thing is, he hasn't
nobody watched Impact because of Bobby Lashley.
Well, that's what started up Brock Lesnar.
That should tell you something.
There's a fan base out there.
That's what started up Brock Lesnar.
Well,
Brock Lesnar didn't become famous until WWE.
multi-million-dollar fan base. I guarantee you, he's not ever going to move as much merch as Roman Reigns.
Well, of course not. Well, it's not a comparison. It's not a comparison of who's better between Bobby and Roman.
It's a comparison in Vince McMahon's eyes of who he's going to pull the trigger on.
Well, the smart option would be.
Well, here's the thing. Soul wants this whole dream thing of UFC and WWE connection, where freaking Brock Lesnar holds the title in UFC and WWE.
It's not necessarily my dream thing. It's just me.
That would be a very lucrative thing for WWE. I can't argue the logic in them trying that if it's possible. I say they should go for it. I don't agree with it. I don't like it because I don't like Brock Lesnar, but it would make them boatloads of fucking money.
Well, it's not only about Brock Lesnar. It's about the fact of the UFC, like we said before, don't have a lot of big names right now. So maybe it's all a money scam. They're doing, maybe they have a contract deal with the WWE, so it's kind of like a roughly like a cross-brand type situation where you're going to have superstars now who are going to be allowed to compete in both the WWE ring and UFC at the same time under the same contract.
Well,
and Brock Lesnar's just going to be the face of it. He's the first man to do it, and he's just a prime example of what's to come. Maybe it's just a...
It could be true, but the thing is, the time gap would have to be, it can't be at this moment. It can't be at SummerSlam. This whole thing can't go down at SummerSlam. It has to be...
I agree.
It has to be a different moment.
That's why Bobby Lashley's the perfect person to book against Brock Lesnar in this match, because Brock Lesnar has been confirmed to come back on Raw the next night. So it's not a said and done thing at SummerSlam. It's not Brock wins or loses or leaves the company or doesn't. We have the following Raw that we know of for sure.
Mr. McMahon is into money too, so
it gives Brock Lesnar another pay-per-view title defense. He's gonna beat Bobby Lashley at SummerSlam, so it gives Brock Lesnar even more of a push of, you know, what's been going on. Makes Brock Lesnar look even better, defeating a guy who used to be a champion, who is an MMA fighter himself. And then we have the following Raw to see what else could happen. Maybe Brock comes out on Raw, and there's, you know, Bobby Lashley comes out and interferes. Roman Reigns comes out and gets involved. Maybe that's when Braun Strowman comes in and cashes in and takes advantage of the situation, and maybe he wins the title right then and there, and then Brock's gone and done. Maybe this is all a bunch of bullshit, and Brock still has another 6 months left on his contract. We don't know. Maybe Brock's going to win at SummerSlam, come back on Raw, and keep the title. Maybe he's going to just show up every now and then again for the next 6 months until this whole UFC thing happens. Or Braun could cash in and take the title and it's done, and he's gone. But if he can't fight in the UFC for another 6 months, then what makes you believe that his contract's over with? What is he going to do, sit at home for 6 months and not collect money from the WWE? I don't believe that. So I think that it's all just another big scam. I think he wins again at SummerSlam, and I think this isn't said and done until he fights Daniel Cormier in the UFC. That's how I see it.
I don't know. We're gonna have to see what happens. Anyways, moving on.
Alright,
we
can move on.
Next match. Which was it was a match in my opinion. I mean, I guess the only thing that made it really good was at the end, towards the end, but the whole Ronda Rousey thing that kind of intensified it until that happened. But yeah, we have. Apparently, this was supposed to be a street fight. I never remembered it being called a street fight in the match, but apparently it was. We have Nia Jax versus Alexa Bliss for the women's title. Basically, Mickie James came out for ringside with Bliss, and Natalya came out with Jax. And yeah, stuff went down where you know, Mickie James was attacking Natalya, and Bliss was attacking Natalya and all that. And basically, Ronda Rousey was at ringside. She was there in the front row. She was watching the whole thing. She couldn't basically withstand what was happening to Natalya, so she jumped over and started attacking, you know, Mickie James and Alexa Bliss and whatnot. And this whole thing went down, and it was pretty intense. There's a lot going on. What happened was basically, as Mickie James and Ronda was fighting it out, Ronda went to go attack Alexa Bliss, and then Mickie James came out of nowhere, I guess, with a chair or something, and hit Ronda with the chair, and hit what's her name? Nia Jax with the chair, and Alexa Bliss picked up the win there with that. But yeah, about this match.
Yeah. I don't have a lot to say on it.
You don't? You don't think it was pretty intense towards the end there?
I don't like the way they played it out at the end. I knew for 100% fact it was blatantly obvious that Ronda was gonna interfere.
Yeah, that was obvious.
But really, Mickie James, really?
Yeah.
Mickie James got the best over Ronda.
Yeah, see, that's why I don't understand, because Ronda put a lot of work into Mickie James other than Alexa Bliss. She basically pulled her hair, slammed her into the barrier like twice, then slammed her into the apron, and then like basically just beat her up inside the ring, and then went to go after Alexa Bliss, and then all of a sudden just Mickie James gets up from all that and hits her with a chair or whatever. Is like, I don't know. I'm
not buying it.
I'm not buying it either. I mean, it was pretty intense with the whole thing that happened.
I was so excited with Ronda attacking Kurt and Alexa, and what seemed to be a heel turn. I was so pumped up for that shit. I was like, yes, this is like the female version of Stone Cold type of shit. I was that excited, and they just killed it. Like, this was terrible booking for Ronda Rousey.
Yeah.
The whole like suspended thing is so cringy. She's not fucking suspended. She keeps appearing every week, and they talk about her and plug her into events, and that's not a suspension. Like, who are you fooling? Like, you think we're all like 7 years old here? Like, we're not buying it. Like, it's so dumb. It worked for Roman Reigns because it was like a one-night thing.
Yeah.
And he showed up. You know what I mean? But if you're going to suspend somebody for 30 days and then still have them appear every week and on the pay-per-view, then what does suspension even mean? And then she could just come in the ring and do whatever she wants, and she doesn't even get reprimanded. I'm gonna have to add another week on your suspension, young lady, Kurt Angle said. Like, get out of here. Like, no one believes it. It's terrible booking. If she actually came in, you know, she's suspended, she comes in, she beats the shit out of somebody and actually makes some kind of effect on the match, on the results, then maybe it's a little believable. But she just failed. She got beat up by Mickie James. It makes the suspension thing look stupid, and it makes her look stupid, and it's just terrible writing.
I agree.
Yeah, that's true.
I agree. Sheep, anything?
I agree as well. I think that it all should have went. I agree with Saul.
All right.
No, see, when Ronda first came to WWE, I was afraid. What I was afraid of at first was they were gonna just automatically book her for the title, win the title. They're just gonna push her over everybody else and screw everyone over. And now, looking back, I kind of wish that they did do that, because now they're just making her look like an idiot. I kind of wish that they did just go ahead and push her and give her the title right from the get-go, because now I'm completely dissatisfied with what's going on with her. Because one second she seems to be turning heel and actually doing something interesting. Then she's Natalia's little buddy and playing, you know, defending her little sister type bullshit. And then now she gets attacked from behind by Mickie James. Like, they're treating her like Roman Reigns. Like, they don't know what they're doing with it seems like they just don't know what they're doing with some of these superstars. They're just all over the place. They're involved in multiple things. There's no set storyline. Like, you don't look forward to the next week's show to see what this person's gonna do. I think the last truly great rivalry that I can remember is The Miz and Dean Ambrose. That shit had me ready every week. Like, I can't wait to watch this show because I can't wait to see what Dean Ambrose is gonna do to The Miz tonight. I can't wait to see Miz's reactions to Dean Ambrose. That was like Attitude Era type shit for me, because you had Dean Ambrose dressing up as cameraman, dressing up in the Teddy outfit. Great promos put on by The Miz, and Dean Ambrose interrupting, interfering in really entertaining ways. So that whole thing was amazing. And
Yeah, true.
with a lot of superstars like Roman Reigns and Ronda Rousey right now, we don't have that. We don't know. All we know is Roman Reigns is going to come out on Raw and come out to the ring and bitch about something, and in the long run, he's going to get his way. So that's basically his story. He's just going to get another chance. He's just going to get another chance to become #1 contender when he just lost in a clean one-on-one match at a pay-per-view. Yet he gets to wrestle this person again when he just lost to them. Like, it just makes no sense to me. It's like, no. You just lost to him. Why do you get to face him again? You win this time, and now you get a shot at the Universal title? That's not fair. So Bobby's #1 contender match doesn't matter. This doesn't matter that he beat him last week. It's thrown out the window. I don't know. I'm done.
I totally understand that as well. Alright, moving on to the next match here, which was one of the best matches of the entire show. Which was AJ versus Rusev for the WWE Championship.
I really thought this was the
we
night
have
that
Styles
Rusev
picking
was
up the
gonna
win here, retaining the title. There's a lot going on in this match, but what was pretty interesting is Rusev basically outselling a lot of moves that AJ did on him. He sold a lot of moves for this match, and I don't know why. Rusev's reaction to like most of the moves that AJ Styles hit, like what the big moves I should say, like, you know, the whole kick to the head and whatnot. His selling was just pretty crazy. Like, why is he outselling this for? What's the whole deal with that? Never
You mean
seen Rusev.
overselling?
Yeah, oversell it. It's like,
I think it was just for. I think it was. I think he's trying to make himself a little more endearing to the crowd. I think
so?
that I definitely think the babyface turn is coming. The big babyface turn is on the way.
You think so? You know heel? You don't think no heel's gonna happen again?
Rusev deserves a babyface run. It's like I always say about his personality and stuff like that. He deserves a babyface run. I know you're going to say he's an upper mid-carder at best.
I wasn't going to say that. Rusev is the baby... Could be, and this is actually an argument against myself about what you were saying I'm about to say. I'm actually defending you guys' point. Rusev could be a babyface version of someone like Brock Lesnar. And by that what I mean is, like I said, what I said about, I feel like he's just a high tier mid-carder. I don't see him being a world champion right now. He's not in that category for me. But that could change. And I think, just like Brock Lesnar has Paul Heyman talk for him, because as big as a fan as I am as Brock Lesnar, if Brock Lesnar came out and spoke for himself, and no one would be afraid of him. No one would be afraid of him at all. I think Rusev needs to keep Aiden English with him forever. They should never break up. Rusev is absolutely cringy to me on the mic. You guys may disagree, but when he says Rusev Day, it's just,
Rusev is cringy as a heel.
Yeah.
Rusev being Rusev would be a face, and Rusev being Rusev would be great, because
the
Rusev
thing is,
I agree.
hilarious.
Yes, exactly. I agree.
No.
But I think he still needs Aiden English to back him up on the microphone to sell his.
No, look. I don't know if you ever watched Rusev outside of the WWE, but he can actually talk very, very fluent English. His whole gimmick in the WWE is like really, really played hard. And I think if they actually let Rusev be Rusev, the Rusev, just Rusev, without the whole gimmick of this Bulgarian brute, I think he could pull off some good promos.
But the Bulgarian brute, he is Rusev. That's the problem. If you take that away, then he's no longer Rusev. That's why I say if he becomes a babyface, maybe they could find a way for him to be a little bit better on the mic while keeping the accent.
It's not gonna last with Aiden English and the whole Rusev Day because the whole thing about Aiden English contract coming up.
Oh, just go. Anybody to go watch the ride along with Rusev and Aiden and.
I need to watch that. I haven't seen that one yet.
Yeah, it just came out not like last week or this week. It was another time where I was like, that's why I like Rusev. He's great.
I agree. And that's why I say if he goes through with the full babyface turn. It still has Aiden English to back him up a little bit on the mic. He doesn't have to come out and just flat out talk for him like Paul Heyman does for Brock.
I see a heel turn happening because of the whole Aiden English thing. And the whole thing that happened on Raw, how Rusev supposedly doesn't forgive Aiden English. I know you want this whole babyface thing to happen, but I don't think it's going to happen. I think it's just going to go back to the heel turn.
It's going to happen with Aiden English. It's going to happen when Aiden turns on him.
But Aiden English is not going to be in WWE that long. He hasn't re-signed a contract yet.
That's speculation.
Let me finish my whole argument.
But that was speculation for Daniel Bryan a few weeks ago, and there's confirmation of him not re-signing yet either. And it's
to sum up what you guys are saying, I don't want to hear shit about contract ending. They're not going to offer him money. If they can get James Ellsworth back, pay that little fucking weasel to come back, they can.
He's not even getting paid James Ellsworth, apparently, from the article I read about how James Ellsworth is
he's done after Extreme Rules, I think.
His comeback wasn't even being paid. His show-ups wasn't even being paid.
Whether it was or not, they can keep Aiden English around for the sake of what's probably one of the biggest trending things in the WWE right now. People love Rusev Day. The fans go nuts for it. Why would you just boot away Aiden English? Like, he made it happen. That's ignorant on their part. I don't see that happening.
It's not Aiden English. Yo, it's not WWE booting away Aiden English. It's about the contract. If Aiden English wants to re-sign with WWE, he will re-sign. It's just not. It's not WWE's like pushing Aiden English away. It's all about if he wants to re-sign or not. Like same thing with Daniel Bryan. Daniel Bryan hasn't made up a decision yet to re-sign or not. He still hasn't signed contract.
It's on him then. I guess.
It's always on the wrestler.
We'll see what happens
in the situation of re-signing a contract. It's if they take it or not. So you can't really complain about it. You can, you can say, oh, Aiden English should just re-sign. It's good, but maybe Aiden English doesn't like it.
WWE for it. I got you.
Yeah.
What the whole point of what I was saying is, I didn't see Aiden English as a world champion. I don't see him beating AJ Styles because he just simply can't go toe to toe with AJ Styles. And it wasn't he's not, because of the fact that he's not a full blown heel. Him beating AJ Styles would just be a huge spit in the face of AJ Styles, in my opinion. I think he needs to go through with a full babyface turn, and whatever heel takes the title from AJ Styles, then maybe in the future Rusev could take the title off of that person. Like, for example, I could see Samoa Joe being the one taking the title from AJ Styles. Then we have a Samoa Joe Rusev feud, and Rusev taking the title off Samoa Joe. That's an example of what I would like to see. That's how I would like to see Rusev win the title. And I would believe him as a world champion in that situation. Because Samoa Joe is a huge star, but he's not on AJ Styles' level either. It's a whole different world, you know what I mean? I love Samoa Joe to death, but as far as comparing the wrestling style and stuff, Rusev versus Samoa Joe would be a believable feud, and it'd be believable for Rusev to get the win over Samoa Joe. So that's just what I would like to see.
No, I understand. Anybody else want to put their 2 cents in this match before we get to the main event? Nope. Okay, well, moving on to the main event, Extreme Rules, which was a pretty good match. I mean, I'm not going to say it was the best match. I think honestly the last match was better than this. But here's what made it not really the greatest match for me. This is an Iron Man match, 30-minute match, Seth Rollins versus Dolph Ziggler. The ending was really for me on this match, but what really made this match boring was the whole going in for early pin thing. That lasted for at least 10 minutes of these two superstars trying to get a pin on each other that early into the thing, and they kept doing it for like 10 minutes. I mean, is that all they're gonna do? It's an Iron Man match. I know you want to try to put in as many pins as you can within the count, but they just kept trying to roll up and trying different pin styles on each other for at least 10 minutes in this match. And another thing I didn't really like was the whole thing with Drew McIntyre. I mean, I understand it, yeah, that's what made the match the match. But the ending of the match as well, where Drew McIntyre supposedly gets kicked out, and then, we have it being a draw at the end, and Dolph Ziggler retaining from the draw. Then we had Kurt Angle come out to restart the match to get it going again. Why bother restarting the match if you know Drew McIntyre is gonna? It was just, I knew it was gonna happen. Right when this draw happened, I'm like, oh, they're gonna restart the match, and then Drew McIntyre is gonna come in and fuck Seth Rollins over. That's how it's gonna happen. And then soon you know, the match got restarted, and Drew McIntyre came out, fucked over Seth Rollins, and Dolph Ziggler picked up the win. It was like, it was there. Like, I already knew it. It was going to happen before it happened. It was like, alright, whatever. And the match itself is just, it was a match. It was good. I liked it. But it was nothing crazy. Nothing, they had a whole 30 minutes to put in a lot more work and make it a lot more crazier and spectacular. Because Dolph Ziggler, I mean, he's athletic. Seth Rollins, he's athletic, so they could have done some crazy maneuvers and shit. But they hardly did any. But yeah, that's my feelings.
Well,
what about you guys?
I think just at the beginning of it, like where Seth Rollins actually got the first 3 falls. I always read that that. I don't know why they did that, but it was just, it did not make no sense to have Seth Rollins get the first 3 falls during that. Did anyone notice that also? Or was it just me?
I know what you mean, Ben.
Yeah. I got you there.
Yeah.
It was just to make Seth Rollins have to come from behind. It's good storytelling. That's reasonable. I understand that. I don't know. It was kind of. That's my problem with any 30-minute Iron Man match. To me, they're always kind of... 30 minutes is almost too much.
Yeah.
But
yeah, and I know
it's Seth Rollins and it's Dolph Ziggler. It should have been an epic.
Yeah, exactly.
But it was just pretty damn good.
Yeah.
It wasn't amazing.
Yeah, it wasn't amazing. It was nothing spectacular.
It's
nothing to remember, is what I'm saying.
Do you feel like the fans had something to do with that?
No, the fans had nothing to do because they were chanting down 10, 9, 8 times like if ever do you want. No, that has nothing to do with the fans. Fuck them. They're stupid assholes. I thought they were gonna stop, but apparently they were entertained by their own selves and not entertained by the match. But it's whatever.
Wow, we're shades of old heels Streetkilln now. Shades of old heel. Yeah, a little bit.
It's true.
I mean, they could at least gave the match some props instead of just being assholes and counting down on the clock all the time. Even when they took down the clock, they still counted down.
Well, we're all assholes, aren't we? Wrestling fans in general.
Yeah.
We're always pissed off about something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We're never all happy at the same time. We're always complaining about something.
Shades of old Roman Reigns.
I mean, the WWE can't make us all happy at once. Everybody has mixed emotions on everything. So.
Shades of old.
But that's different than being annoying and chanting down during match.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like even that Yeah, it's like anywhere like also in freaking Chicago, all everybody chant is CM Punk, and we know like he's never gonna come back. That's like good. Yeah, I'm only proving my point.
This match is all but over.
Yes, I was about to say.
So, anything about this match, Mr. Big Dolph Ziggler fan over here as well?
You have to wonder if he can recover from this.
I mean, the match was, like you said, it could have been a lot better. It was above average as far as competition goes between the two. This is a classic heel versus face match. You know, both ends get respect because Dolph Ziggler gets to continue to reign as Intercontinental Champion and be a good heel, and Seth still gets respect from the crowd because he lost in a dirty way.
Clearly looking to incapacitate his opponent here.
It just makes it's good booking for the both of them, which I respect because I respect both of these guys. I like both of these guys a lot. So.
Yeah.
I guarantee you,
I'm happy with it. I'm good with the results.
That's how you make this crowd stand on its feet. The Viper getting absolutely pounded. Will he be victorious?
Alright, so Extreme Rules out of the way. Overall rating of Extreme Rules, let me hear it, you guys, because there's a lot of people that were saying that Extreme Rules was sucky, and some people were even went as far to say as Backlash was better than Extreme Rules.
No. The only bad match, there wasn't a bad match the whole night. They had problems that they had to deal with last minute. They scrambled a few times. I understand everything for what it was. Overall, I give it about a C+. Now, it definitely wasn't extreme, except for the Kevin Owens thing.
That's true. That's true.
But no, it wasn't that terrible. I give it a C minus, 6 out of 10.
Yeah, I think like the only thing what the WWE should have done, they should have actually just stuck to like the name of their pay-per-views. Like say for example, Extreme Rules. That night is supposed to be like all Extreme Rules matches. Yeah, I think like I only saw one Extreme Rules match on, and that was
true. Match. But we all know now, going into it, it's a PG era. We're not gonna get all Extreme Rules. We're not gonna get anything amazing. We're not gonna get anything cool because PG's not cool. We get what we get. We knew that going into it. So if we judge it on that, we're being biased. If we judge it based on the matches and the storytelling and the quality, then and not what Extreme Rules is supposed to be. Then it was better than some of the cards we've had this year.
I actually really, surprisingly, I don't know if I was just in a really good mood when I was watching this, but I actually genuinely really enjoyed this pay-per-view. I think it's one of the better pay-per-views we've seen this year. Probably maybe the best. Honestly,
well, as far as
really
just Raw and SmackDown pay-per-views, you mean, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Because nothing's gonna make up for the NXT pay-per-view.
I'd probably give it 7.5, maybe even push to an 8.
Yeah, the best I'll give it is 8 out of 10.
I could push for an 8.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll probably say like an 8 out of 10, but like literally, for the pay-per-view, like the name of it and the match stuff that should have went, I'll give it a 2. Just for that reason only. Yeah, I'm not like giving like the whole pay-per-view a play, like a freaking 2. Like I'm just going by that rule because they should just put like Extreme Rules matches for every match.
Well, we expected that.
It would have made it more entertaining though. Same, more entertaining. I'm
not judging it off of that because I expected that. So I'm not disappointed because I didn't expect it to be extreme. I made that clear when I pointed out how only the Raw Women's Championship was labeled as an Extreme Rules match. That told you right then and there that the rest of it wasn't going to be.
Alright. Well, moving on to Raw, which was pretty good in my opinion, overall. So yeah, the beginning of Raw, Kurt Angle kind of stuck to his word here, where he said if Brock Lesnar doesn't show up on Raw, that he will be stripped from Universal title. So yeah, Kurt Angle comes out here in Raw and basically says what he said. He demands Brock to come out, and Brock doesn't come out. He was gonna go and say, well, then Brock is gonna be stripped from his title. Then we have Paul Heyman coming out, the Advocate, comes out, starts talking, yapping. Hold up, wait. And he starts talking about this whole thing about, Brock is getting ready for the UFC, and how Brock has like this whole dream where he wants to be Universal Champion and UFC Champion at the same time, and
So called that one.
Yeah, so kind of called it for a little bit there, but I don't think it's gonna happen. But yeah, Kurt Angle says, well, Brock is not here, so I'm gonna strip him from the title. And Paul Heyman's like, nah, wait, Brock will defend his title at SummerSlam, and we already knew that Brock was gonna defend at SummerSlam because it was the thing that was going around. So it was to me, that was kind of disappointing, other than the fact about what he said about the Universal and the UFC thing, because I was hoping it would be something more interesting, that maybe Brock would actually come out. I was looking forward for Brock to come out and kind of like, I don't know, maybe there'll be a little bit of a brawl or something that would happen. But no, we just got Paul Heyman. Huh?
Look at the bigger picture here. I'm so confused on how people can still say that they don't see this happening. How do you not see it? They're blatantly telling you in your face.
But they like to do that. They like to do that.
What's Paul Heyman's whole gimmick? It's never, or what? It's always a spoiler. He's telling you what's gonna happen. What he says is actually what happens. Like, it's so obvious. They're throwing it in your faces. It's as obvious as Roman Reigns is gonna appear on Raw. That's what's happening. This is what's happening. Like, and I think it's time for, honestly, we've been having the Brock Lesnar back and forth shit since we started this podcast. What has it been? This is episode 21. It's been 5 months now. We do this every single time. I think it's time to finally get out of your feelings of how you feel about Brock Lesnar and how you feel about wrestling as wrestling. Get out of those feelings and just see this for what it is and just let it be. I mean, you can't sit around and say, fuck Brock Lesnar, I'm tired of him, he doesn't care about wrestling, why doesn't he love us, why does he want to come out and show his face to us? Get past that bullshit and see what's really going on here. It's bigger than that. It's for money. It's bigger than your feelings. Like, that's the point here. And I'm tired of, like, it being a joke. Like, I'm not defending Brock every week. I'm defending what the reality of it. I'm defending what's really going on here. Brock Lesnar is just a face. He's just a pawn of what they're trying to do. I think it's something that's gonna. It's something that's gonna keep happening forever now. It's like Cain Velasquez training in the WWE training facility. Do you think that's just by? You really think he just happened to say, "Huh, let me go here and work out today"? Like, there's more behind it than that. And Paul Heyman's coming out on live national television and telling you to your face what's gonna happen. And I believe every bit of it. I really do. It's imagine. It's not just about WWE fans and their personal feelings. This is Brock Lesnar is a huge name around the entire world in both the UFC and WWE. Imagine if he does win the UFC Heavyweight Championship and has the Universal title on that once. Imagine the money they're gonna make from people tuning in, from people buying that UFC pay-per-view to watch him fight Daniel Cormier. And then imagine the viewers that Raw's gonna get if Brock comes back on Raw with the title. Imagine the attention that's gonna bring to the WWE. It's huge. And I'm sure there's a lot of money riding on this. So it's bigger than if you like Brock or you don't like Brock. It doesn't matter.
Here's what I see more money in. Here's what I see more money in. This thing does kind of make sense. And I understand what you're saying here. But I see a bigger picture that could happen. We have Brock Lesnar, UFC, WWE, right? But who else do we have? We have Bobby Lashley, former UFC, and WWE. What would be more interesting and more money-making is if they had a match go down with UFC and WWE, Brock Lesnar and Bobby Roode. Now, that would be more interesting. A little bit...
Okay.
Bobby Lashley, my bad. Not Bobby Roode. Bobby Lashley. But that'd be more interesting. I know it wouldn't be more of a headline as it would be with maybe somebody else from the UFC. But the thing is, it's a crossover kind of thing if you look at it, because we already have two UFC and WWE stars in basically both platforms.
That could very well be a thing for the future as they continue in contracts that mix the WWE and the UFC together and allows them to do this. The thing is that if this becomes a thing for other superstars other than Brock Lesnar, then wrestling fans are going to have to get out of their feelings and realize that if a superstar signs this contract and does this, you can't come out on Monday Night Raw or Tuesday Night SmackDown every week and be in a tough competitive match. Because if Brock Lesnar comes out and is in a big match on Raw and sprains his fucking ankle, then the whole thing is done. And all the money that they put in on it is done. He's not going to fight in the UFC. You have to be 100% tip-top shape to be in a UFC fight. It's
Here's
real.
The thing here.
Your life is in jeopardy. You could die in a UFC ring. It's real. It's not... You're not whispering in your partner's ear like, oh, that kind of hurt, man. Take it easy next time. You're trying to fucking knock each other out.
Yeah.
You're not going to wrestle in the WWE and get hurt. You're going to... Why do you think Brock's not showing up in wrestling? That's the whole point behind it.
Hold on.
You can't go out there and get hurt and then jeopardize your contract you have with UFC.
Here's the thing here that I see of this not being really that much of a profit with the whole Brock Lesnar thing. Not with Bobby Lashley included, but I don't see much of a profit than it would be with Bobby Lashley thing, because if it's just Brock Lesnar and if it's just him holding two titles, there's not much really of a profit there, because as you look at it, it's just basically showing all that's showing off is, oh, this guy, he won a title on this brand and he won a title on this brand, and he's showing both of these titles on both brands. Here's why I don't see a profit is because, say the people from WWE, right?
It is a profit because it creates new fans.
Yeah. Wait, listen.
Wow. And they buy more merchandise.
You haven't listened what I was saying. I was gonna say, the only profit would be is that the WWE fans would look into UFC, but here's the thing. Most of the people of WWE, most of the fans already know that Brock Lesnar is a UFC fighter. Most of the people do. The people that's been following WWE and following Brock Lesnar, which would be more than 50% of WWE, of how, so saying, Brock Lesnar is a big thing. He's big in UFC and WWE.
It would sell tickets. It's a big event. It's like Conor McGregor and Floyd Mayweather.
But it's not really an event. It's not really an event if it's one person, though. I understand if there was a crossover, like a Bobby Lashley type thing. If there was like a crossover type thing happening, I understand that.
Well,
that would be
the next one
I guarantee you, if Brock Lesnar wins the UFC heavyweight belt and goes on Raw the next Monday, I guarantee you that's going to be the highest rated Raw of all time.
Yeah, but I understand that. I understand that, but I don't think it would be big. I don't think it would be as big as if it was a crossover of Bobby Lashley. It wouldn't last for
months and months, but it would get a huge pop initially, and it would make them a lot of fucking money. The cross promotion between UFC and WWE, they shouldn't be bitter rivals. They should be working together. The UFC fighters, when they're starting to
all I'm saying, if you're gonna
come down and lose their shit, they should be looking at WWE as a viable career option.
It's a highly profitable market for both the UFC and the WWE and the employees. The UFC fighters who are getting a little bit older, maybe, or they lost their last 2 or 3 fights and they're just done. They don't got it in them anymore.
Yeah.
They can come train at the WWE facility and go on NXT, or even if they're a big enough name, like Cain Velasquez shouldn't go on NXT. Cain Velasquez should appear on SmackDown or Raw immediately if he's training to do so. But fighters like that in the UFC who are done with the UFC could merge over to WWE. They're already in contract. It's brilliant. It's a huge money pool and a draw.
I see it. I see what you're saying with that, but you're not understanding what I'm saying.
He's the face of it all.
If you're gonna do something like that, it's go big or go home. You're not just gonna have one person from one thing. It's not really of a crossover. All there's a crossover is just holding the title. If you're gonna do something like that, it's go big or go home. Like the whole Mayweather and Conor McGregor, they're two stars from different brands. Now, what I'm saying would make it 10 times better. Would make it 10 times better if it was somebody Brock was facing like Bobby Lashley. That would make it 10 times better because they're known in both brands.
UFC heavyweight champion, so that's illogical.
Yeah, I understand that, but I'm just saying it would make it a lot better. It would make it a lot more profitable on the start of it. I mean, in the long run, yeah, it's going to be more profitable about the whole situation of UFC fighters going to WWE.
I disagree because right now Daniel Cormier is more of a draw and a bigger star than Bobby
Not a lot
Lashley
of people like DC in UFC as you think.
It doesn't matter if they like him. Who gives a fuck if they like him? He's the champion. He's a big name because he's the champion.
He's only a big name because that's all that's left in the UFC.
He's a weak champion, and I think they need to get that title.
He's as weak
Which is why they would be fucking thrilled to see Brock Lesnar come back and fight him, because everyone's gonna say what you guys have been saying.
I would much rather see Bobby Lashley versus
We really need to move on from Brock Lesnar. It's 2:30. It's been 30 minutes. We've been on Brock Lesnar. So
DC is as weak as Tyron Woodley in the UFC. That's all I'm saying.
I agree, Steve. We need to move on. But you're looking at Daniel Cormier the same way you look at Brock Lesnar with your personal feelings. You're not seeing the bigger picture. It doesn't matter if you like him or not. That's not the point.
Daniel Cormier is not selling tickets. Daniel Cormier is losing UFC money.
Can we change the subject, please?
Yeah, we gotta move on. But anyways, in that first segment there, what basically happened is Drew McIntyre, Bobby Lashley came out, Drew McIntyre came out, Seth Rollins came out, Elias came out, and then Finn Balor came out in the ring. And basically what happened was Kurt Angle making a triple threat match, 2 triple threat matches, and the winner of those triple threat matches will face each other in next Raw, on the next Raw, to go at it in SummerSlam, I believe, right? Yeah. So
we can blow right past this because we've already talked about it.
So yeah, we talked about most of it already. So Roman Reigns, Finn Balor versus Drew McIntyre. Of course, the results was already there. Roman Reigns taking the win on this. I don't know if you guys want to talk about that or not. You can just move on to the next thing, which was basically... Yeah, alright. Next thing was basically a kind of a squash match, a little bit of a squash match. Not really. I mean, it's a match for, I guess, Bobby and Dolph Ziggler after the whole thing. I mean, I don't know. Because, you know, you can't really put you can't really put Dolph Ziggler and Seth at it again. So I guess they gave Bobby a shot. Would you rather have somebody else face Dolph Ziggler, though, other than Bobby, for this match?
There's a lot of names I could think of right now. Like, I don't know.
Well, yeah. Anyways, it started because Bobby Roode wanted a title opportunity, and basically Dolph Ziggler said he wanted to fight Bobby, and Bobby wanted to fight Dolph, but Dolph didn't want to do it for the title because, you know, typical Dolph is a heel. So the match started, and it wasn't for the title. It was just a fight. Obviously, Dolph Ziggler picked up the win here. The next match is a squash match, definitely a squash match. Tyler Breeze versus Mojo Rawley, which was there's a pretty funny segment, bit of it in this match, from Mojo Rawley. Rawley did pick up the win. Basically, Mojo kind of like, I don't know if it was a suplex or what, but he slammed down Tyler Breeze pretty hard on the mat. And he was all amped up. He was like, okay. And then he threw him into the corner, Tyler Breeze into the corner. And he's like, lights out. And he's fucking kind of like Superman punches him almost. He hits him pretty hard. And Tyler just drops down. And Rawley picks up the win here. I think that little bit was kind of entertaining. And it made it for me. I was like, oh, wow. That's a catchphrase right there that I'm going to remember. I know Sheep said he didn't remember, but I was kind of messing up by, I butchered it by saying Zack Ryder. I don't know why I was thinking about Zack Ryder, but I don't know if she remembers now or not.
Yeah, I went and watched the clip that you posted in the Discord. I don't know if it was as great as you're making it out to be. It was alright.
I don't know. I found it pretty entertaining. I mean, it was pretty.
I will say that he did turn Tyler Breeze like inside out.
Yeah.
Like that, he flipped him around and he almost had Tyler Breeze doing like a 450.
Yeah, it was pretty crazy.
Mojo Rawley is a watered down version of Roman Reigns. Tyler Breeze is 10 times the in-ring performer and entertainer Mojo Rawley will ever be.
Mojo's getting better.
Should have never defeated Tyler Breeze. Tyler Breeze needs to just say, fuck you, WWE, and just go somewhere else, because I highly agree with everything he's spoken out on against the WWE. He's definitely not being booked correctly. He is a great wrestler and entertainer. And he doesn't deserve to get squashed by fucking Mojo Rawley. Stupid. No one gives a shit about Mojo. He's never gonna.
Somebody got their feelings hurt about this.
Wow.
I don't know, man. I mean, if they make,
I'm being that podcast guy that goes off and says his feelings. Being an entertainer, okay?
I kind of enjoyed the match for what it was, and for that whole little bit there.
I've always been a Tyler Breeze fan.
Yeah,
I always say how much I love Breezango and the Fashion Files. I think it's hilarious.
Now, were you a Tyler Breeze fan when it was just him and the selfie stick?
Yeah, were you? Huh?
Maybe not gimmick wise, but I think that he's good in the ring.
Sure. All right. Well, moving on. We have the whole Bayley and Sasha versus Dana Brooke and Alicia Fox.
Oh my god, I'm not scared about this stupid promo now.
Alicia Fox doing her in-ring return. Although the match was pretty short, because what it was basically, it was a count out because Sasha Banks just went all fucking on a rampage basically on Dana and Alicia Fox outside of the ring, caused a count out victory, and basically this led into in the back where Bayley was starting to talk to Sasha, and Sasha kind of said little feelings about Bayley, where she's like, I love you, I always have, or something like that. So the feelings about this, I don't know where this is going, but a lot of people are speculating some lesbian action is gonna happen here, or something like that. I honestly don't know, because this is confusing to me, because how are you gonna say you love somebody after all the things that Sasha's done to Bayley and basically took out anger on Bayley, just beat her up countless times in the back, and then just say you love him?
Do you not remember like the high school thing, like the school thing, like you picked on the girl that you liked?
Oh, is this where they're doing?
No,
is this where they're going?
No.
That's where they're going. It's gonna happen. They'll be scissoring before the end of the year.
She's just trolling. This is absolutely not going to turn into a lesbian story.
They're going to scissor before the end of the year.
No, it's not. This is just another message about friends. Have you guys ever been in middle school? Have you ever seen two females who were close friends? They spread rumors about each other, say, I hate you, get out of my life, I don't want anything to do with you.
Is this supposed to be some kind of teen drama shit?
Yes, it's teen drama shit. It's clearly teen drama shit. What do you mean? Yeah.
This is hot. This is going to be high.
It's a message.
Boundary pushing stuff, man.
No, it's not. It's another message about teenage friendships. It's another push for Bayley and her whole. She's the face of the young female viewers. Okay. And it's gonna be all about.
I'd much rather see the lesbian shit.
Sometimes you get in. Well, you're a 27-year-old male. I would hope you would. It's gonna be another big message about.
This is what I wasn't hoping for. I was hoping it wasn't gonna be some teen drama bullshit.
It's because
that's the
you love
last
your
thing we
friend
need in WWE.
Emotions get involved. And at the end of the day, it's not
trolling
lesbian
aside.
shit. This is not the mid '90s.
It could be. Trolling aside, it could be a serious attempt at doing.
It could be.
It could be a serious. I'm not talking about the joking, scissoring by the end of the year. A serious attempt at them being quote unquote on screen girlfriends. That could be possible. There could be a kiss. There could be stuff like that, and it could be told with taste and dignity and class.
Attitude Era.
But
please come
this
back.
is WWE, and that's probably not going to happen because they would fail the writing, probably miserably.
Okay.
Now, that being said, about a year and a half or 2 years ago, Stephanie McMahon said that someday soon they would have LGBT, is that what it is?
Yeah.
That abbreviation. They would have those storylines in WWE, and they would have one. And I mean, it's going to happen, and I think they might have pulled the first trigger just to test the waters. They left it vague. They didn't say what kind of I love you this was.
Yeah,
they did it on purpose so they could test the Twitter versus reaction, so that they could see if it got a huge amount of support or if there was a whole bunch of hate or negative backlash from it. They're testing the waters to see where this is gonna go. And I really think that's what that was. They left it vague on purpose so that they could see, which way they want to go with the storyline. They can do the best friend thing, but if it gets overwhelming support from like the gay community, hell yeah, they'll probably take a chance and go for it.
I highly agree.
Not in a distasteful, like, lesbian...
I know you're trolling when you do that. I know. I can tell the difference, Sheep. I know you well enough. But I agree that it could be a possibility, but I don't think this is it. I don't think they do it. I don't think this is it. I agree it could happen in the future, but not with Bayley. Because I'm not saying that it's wrong to do the whole LGBT thing in WWE.
Any general fan knows. I think Bayley has a fiance or boyfriend or something.
The thing is, I think it would be wrong. I think it would be wrong for it to be a lesbian thing, is because if we're looking at it, most of the viewers of Bayley are kids. You're gonna put in a thought for like younger kids to like.
They're doing
some
that
lesbian
in everything
action.
Now. That stuff's on Disney Channel. It's on Disney. It's on Nickelodeon. It's all over the place.
I know. I understand, but it's just, it's kind of like pushing it a bit.
That's what I'm trying to get to. If I could finish.
Yeah, it's kind of pushing it a bit.
I
also.
I don't have a problem with the LGBT or whatever.
Me either.
Eventually being a storyline in the WWE. When it comes down to it, I'll probably feel a little cringy and be like, like I might feel a little uncomfortable, especially if the writing's bad. But I'm not disposed to it. I'm not a hateful person. I'm not gonna be like, fuck this, I'm turning my TV off. You know what I mean? It's okay. But I don't think it's right to pull the plug with it on Bayley. Bayley's already such a huge role model for young women that if they do it with Bayley, then all these young girls that already look up to her right now.
I think they could have done it with somebody
who may
else.
Who may not even have or ever had any kind of thoughts about being lesbian are gonna see her doing it as her idol, and now they've developed those thoughts. Now, well, Bayley's doing it, maybe I should go out and try it. And I don't think that they should make that decision in their life based on a WWE superstar. That's something that they should come across approach on their own accord, not because an idol is doing it.
Well, that's like saying that because. Well, hold on. That's like saying that because somebody's a big fan of Scarlett Johansson and she plays a gay woman, that's going to make somebody want to be gay, and Scarlett Johansson shouldn't play a gay woman because she's not gay.
No, it's not.
WWE's acting. They're actors.
But Scarlett Johansson isn't a WWE superstar who's being watched by millions of young women. It's different. I'm not saying in general nobody should ever play a gay role because the people who like that person are going to be gay. I'm talking about the young women who watch Bayley. You're making it more of a broad generalization, which is where I didn't want this to come to. I don't want this to be is gay right or wrong argument. That's not the point.
Yeah.
It's strictly
and we should move on.
Bayley.
I think we should.
I'm talking about Bayley strictly, not in general.
Yeah, they shouldn't do it with it. I get it. I understand. But I think they're definitely testing the waters. They're not afraid to ignore storyline boyfriends and girlfriends.
I mean, we already got kids over here saying, "Oh, why does Sasha love Bayley, Mama?"
Oh.
Let's move on.
Well, it's not abnormal at all for young girls to tell each other they love them as friends.
I know, but I understand it. I understand that part.
All right, bro. Peace out. I love you, bro.
I know. I understand. I understand that.
See you next week.
I understand that. I understand that part.
Guys,
but I don't think they
should
push it.
Love them when they're drunk.
I don't think they should push it to the whole.
I love you, man.
Thing.
And it's like you're like hanging all over them about trying to hold yourself up. I love you, bro. And then like the next day, it's like, bro, you said you loved me last night. No, I fucking didn't, bro.
Alright, let's move on here.
Moving on.
Another kind of a squash match a little bit for the B team here.
Yep.
The B team versus the Ascension. Here's the thing here. Honestly, I wanted the Ascension to be something in the WWE. I wanted them to be actually good tag team stable. I thought they would. I'd much rather see Ascension hold the titles other than Bludgeon Brothers, is what I'm saying. I mean, when the Ascension first made their debut in the WWE, I'm like, oh, this tag team's gonna be pretty cool. I mean, at first they were kind of a mock-up of the Road Warriors, I believe they were called. Isn't that what they were called? The Road Warriors or something like that?
Oh yeah, the Road Warriors.
Animal and Hawk.
Yeah, Animal and Hawk.
Yeah.
At first, when they first approached in WWE, that's what I assumed, that they're gonna be, you know, a version of that. And then it's just they took different forms and whatnot. They've been through a lot in the WWE, is what I'm saying. And at this point, is the Ascension, what are they even? They're basically on par with Breezango at this point. Oh.
They're lower than Breezango. They were supporting cast for Breezango on SmackDown for months. Yeah. They're lower than Breezango.
They're
like
very
colognes.
Low.
They're like with the colognes.
Basically, yeah.
Yeah, I see that, but
it's pretty sad though. It's like, why they even have
them on TV this week. It was refreshing to me.
Yeah, it's refreshing. I understand why they have them. I understand why they still have these tag teams, is because it does add some like you said, some refreshment to it. You know, a tag team stable we haven't really seen much action in a while. But the thing is, I want to see them get somewhere. Maybe, who knows? Maybe Ascension could maybe obtain the tag team titles from the B team, because we don't really know much at this point the future of the B team. But we kind of have a future of Matt Hardy, supposedly, based on what Sheep said and whatnot. So we don't know what's going to really happen with the B team, what they're going to rival next, or who's going to take the titles away from them, or whatever, how long they're going to hold it. We're just going to have to find out. But overall, this match was a match, I guess. Squash match, like I said. But yeah, we had that whole promo for Matt Hardy and Bray Wyatt as well at the end there. But yeah, any opinions, thoughts, or what?
I like the B team. They grew on me. It took forever, but I love the B team, and
Yeah,
I think
like
that they're gonna retain. Like I said, I guess it was nice to see the Ascension again. You know, it's like, oh, those guys still exist. Cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know if they need to do something else, or I think they should do something else.
Yeah.
Maybe another gimmick, or even another career. You know, who knows?
Yeah,
True.
we also know the Doyers will get their rematch next week.
Alright. Moving on to a bit of a promo type thing here. Alexa Bliss comes out with Mickie James and celebrates her, victory at Extreme Rules, and basically we had Ronda Rousey come out from the crowd and wanted to attack Alexa Bliss and whatnot. But then we have Kurt Angle come out and says, wait, your contract's almost over, blah, blah, blah. You only have 2 more days, can you wait? And then Baron Constable Corbin came out to put his 2 cents about how, Stephanie McMahon feels about this, and that he wanted to call Stephanie McMahon to like extend the whole, what do you want to call it? The whole thing was suspension. He wanted a longer suspension. But Kurt Angle put in another 1 week suspension on Ronda, I believe, and that was left that. Yeah. Anything on this?
Yeah. No, but I know that Angle did steal
Yeah,
Baron Corbin's
he stole Baron Corbin's phone. Yeah.
That was really awkward.
Yeah. He's looking for
Why
this.
did he steal his phone? There was no reason.
Because to keep him from calling Stephanie McMahon.
But we didn't. But he didn't know
because
that was
because he's always calling Stephanie McMahon.
Yeah, apparently.
That's like this. What does he do every episode? Every episode since he's become constable, he's called Stephanie McMahon.
I don't think Stephanie McMahon is gonna like this.
Yeah, every episode he does it. I'm calling Stephanie. Here, she wants to talk to you. He's like, I'm gonna cut out the middleman this week. I'm just gonna steal his fucking phone.
I guess I can see it.
You're trying to make plot holes in a WWE story. It's like there's plenty there. You don't have to look.
No, I just seen it in a different way. I'm not trying to make a whole nother plot of it. I just took it a different way. Because the fact that he stole his phone before the whole promo happened. So it's like he already had his phone before he threatened to call Stephanie. But you make sense in saying that it's because of the previous weeks, because he called Stephanie in the past. he stole it before he came out to make the announcement because he was called, threatened to call Seth. It makes sense in that way.
All right, so I guess we can all admit there was kind of a lot of squash matches this week on Raw, because the next match is also a squash match. Titus Worldwide basically getting buried.
Yes, Titus O'Neil versus the Authors of Pain.
Yeah, basically getting buried here. I don't know. I think Titus Worldwide is in the same category as Heath Slater and Rhino, basically. Maybe, I don't know if I would say as basically on par, because Heath Slino and freaking Heath Slino, what? Heath Slater and Rhino. That should be their name instead of Heath Slater and Rhino. Yeah, they've been buried so many times. So I don't know. Titus Worldwide is basically there. There's nothing left for them. And
they've been buried more than Captain Crunch.
Oh. But yeah, of course, like I said, Authors of Pain winning this match. Of course, that puts Authors of Pain up in the ladder, moves them up some more, as long as they can get these wins on these supposed jobbers. They'll move on to the big time. But wouldn't you really call B-Team kinda jobbers as well?
I gotta say, guys, he doesn't appear to be in the mood here tonight.
Wouldn't you kind of put them in that category, because their victories
they were, but no, not the B team. The Miztourage were jobbers. The B team's undefeated, right?
Yeah, but they've been defeating supposed jobbers. So
as the Miztourage. I mean, but no, B team defeated the Leaders World.
Yeah, that's the biggest selling point right there now, but all their other matches before that
matter. They're undefeated. They're not jobbers right now. They're world champions.
Yeah, not anymore. Not to this point.
One of the aspects to this type of match, which makes it
but they're not on the same. They're not on the same ranking as AOP, is what I'm saying.
Who wants to walk with Elias?
Not me right now. Anything about this match, or now we're gonna move on to the next?
Let me move on.
Sarah Logan and
Ember Moon.
Sarah Logan beat Ember Moon. I was like, wow.
In a fatal four-way, there are lots of
were you like, wow? Were you really?
Yeah, I didn't expect that. I mean, because Ember pretty much beat them all over and over again.
Yeah.
And I was like, okay.
I think that's probably why. I think that's probably why.
She got broken clocks right twice a day, So
yeah. So they were gonna come in for a win. Yeah, they were gonna come in for a win. So yeah, they did pick up a victory here.
He lands the belly to belly.
Solo, anything about that?
Nope.
All right, I guess moving on to the main event here, the other triple threat match that we already knew the outcome was gonna be. Bobby Lashley winning this triple threat. Seth Rollins versus Elias versus Bobby Lashley. In my opinion, it was a pretty good match. I mean, all the superstars put in their work, and it was pretty good. I mean, you already knew the outcome. So there was nothing else other than that. It was just down to the performance. Did you really expect Elias to win? Did you really expect Seth Rollins to win? I mean, the whole thing was already set in stone and predictable.
Quick pin attempt here.
You guys want to talk about this, or moving on to SmackDown? Okay. Well, before I move on to SmackDown, I just want to talk about something that I was gonna bring up in the rumors thing, but I'd rather bring up right now because it has to do with Raw. The whole Stephanie thing that I posted. She has a big announcement to make. Supposedly this whole thing is supposed to be like a historic announcement for WWE regarding women's, I believe, the women's division. So Stephanie has something big.
She didn't say it was regarding the women's. That's what
No,
we're speculating. It
but
could be anything.
It's what's written in the article is something about to do with the women.
But what Stephanie said didn't have. They said they're speculating. We can't guarantee that it's anything to do with women. But given the history of Stephanie and these announcements, it's usually about something with women. So it's a pretty sure bet. But we can't guarantee that that's what it is. If it was something like else, it probably would have been Triple H or somebody.
Yeah. Well, it's supposed to historic. It's a historic announcement. So I don't know, man. Like we're put on the table is it's gonna be the women's tag team titles. Now, if it's not that, it's probably gonna be disappointing to hear what it is if it's not that, because I'm kind of expecting a women's tag team title here, is because we had that rumor in the past and it's been going around for a while, and we have a lot of divas, well, a lot of women, I should say, now in SmackDown and Raw, so everything's there. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. Yeah, question about like that also. Which do we even have like any women's tag teams anyway?
No, but like I'm saying, we have a lot of women and a lot of team ups right now in the women's division. We have a lot of team ups, so like I said, the card is on the table for this. Yeah. Now would be a good time for them to actually bring it out.
Yeah, because
it's what I'm expecting.
The Iconics. Yeah, because there's the Iconics.
We got a lot. We got a lot, Ben. We got a lot. You don't have to go over it, Ben. We have a lot. But yeah.
Yeah, I was just curious.
So you got anything about this big announcement thing?
Stephanie's announcement. I agree. I feel like it's gonna be something about the women's division, because it always is. What else does Stephanie show up to do?
True.
Unless she's gonna fire Kurt Angle and Baron Corbin's the new GM.
Yeah. Will that be historic though?
Well, that's what I could actually see.
Of course it'd be
I could see like this entire Kurt Angle Baron Corbin feud for the GM spot. I don't even know where I'm this whole story, but that's like.
Or like I was saying in the chat.
That's like what I could see.
She's gonna announce that there has to be a new GM in place in Raw, because there's how do you say it? There's a problem with Constable Corbin working with Kurt Angle, because Constable Corbin is actually Kurt Angle's son, and family can't work together and be in charge of each other. So Kurt's gonna have to find a new job.
Yeah, but who would actually win out of those two though? Who would win?
No one's gonna win. Constable Corbin is Kurt Angle's son. It's a conflict of interest.
Yeah, but I was actually just like, what if they actually did have a match against each other just for the GM spot? That's like where I'm going with it. I don't know where I'm going with this one. Does work out.
Let's get on to SmackDown.
Baron Corbin's not gonna be the GM.
Yeah, he's not
imagine Baron Corbin is gonna be.
Yeah, true.
No, just imagine him being GM.
No, I don't want to imagine him. I don't want to.
Okay.
What is?
Damn it. Damn it, Street.
SmackDown.
I wanted to see.
So SmackDown, the first thing here, we have a promo. We got the United States champ in the back talking to Renee Young. About the match that they're gonna have, the basically rematch. Shinsuke calling Jeff Hardy a clown, and he said he's gonna make the clown cry. I believe that's what he said.
Yeah. And
so that was that. But the first match of the show was kind of a shocker to me. AJ versus Andres Cianalmas. It was a shock because I didn't expect Almas to have this match with AJ. the match was pretty good in my opinion. I liked it. I'm not a big fan of Almas. I know he had his title run in NXT, and I don't know. I guess this match was to put more clout on Almas. I would say give him a little bit more rep because he's going up against the champion here in a regular match. I mean, of course it would have made him a much bigger deal if he actually won over AJ Styles, but I guess it gives Almas a little bit more respect that he kind of deserves because he did put up a good match from what I was watching. I don't know. I mean, it was a shocker.
It was a good contest.
Yeah.
It was a great in-ring performance by the both of them.
Yeah.
Andrade is a great in-ring performer. The only problem I had with this is I don't agree that a world champion should be facing a new upcoming superstar.
We know it was to lose, and we know it was to put. They needed him to put over Andrade. So they wanted a quick prize.
That's what I'm saying. It gave Almas more clout. You know what I'm saying?
They could have gave a little bit of a promo or something. So they just randomly did the match out of thin air.
Yeah, that's why it was a shocker to me.
They could have did a little interview or something, some kind of hint at least, at the very least. It was just so random.
Yeah, cause
and it just I don't know.
Yeah, no, I understand because all the other matches he had recently was a lot of backstage happening before the
AJ
match.
Styles should be involved in something bigger. He's the world champion, for God's sakes.
AJ versus Samoa Joe, that could happen.
Shouldn't just randomly be putting Andrade over for no reason. He should be involved in a major
Maybe there
storyline.
is a reason, though. We'll never know.
There might be a big storyline coming between two Pacific people. That
if they were gonna have Ty Dillinger just be a jobber, they should have just had Andrade wrestle Ty Dillinger. That would have been a pretty good match as well. And they should pull the trigger on AJ Styles Samoa Joe feud. Why do they have Samoa Joe
going to talk about?
Wrestle Ty Dillinger?
Well,
why?
Samoa Joe. Wait. Okay, Samoa Joe versus.
Well, let's get on to the next match before we hop over this next match. So Becky Lynch versus Mandy Rose. Lynch defeated Rose, obviously, in this match.
Kind of expected this. Kind of expected.
I'm not gonna say that this was a great match. It was just a match, and it was to put Becky Lynch in action here because, maybe Becky Lynch, from what her promo is at the end of the match, maybe she's the next contestant for Carmella, to go after the title. I want to see Becky Lynch. I want to see Becky Lynch make it to that SummerSlam pay-per-view or whatever to get that title opportunity, to get the title back. You know what I'm saying?
She deserves a title run.
She deserves another title run, exactly. What, Ben?
Nothing.
No, you have something. You're over here clearing your throat in the middle of my talking.
Sorry, Street, but I just don't think Becky Lynch is the one to take the title from Carmella.
You don't think so?
I know, come on,
man.
I've been holding this back right now. Carmella, she is a freaking good champion. Just saying this right now.
She is, but Becky Lynch deserves it, man.
Okay. Yo, if they were actually
hold this... How exactly is Carmella a good champion? You gotta give us a reason.
Okay.
Come on.
She is
give us
smart.
a reason why.
Like what she was doing. Remember the Oscar match? Yo, well, of course, Oscar did not pay attention, but because
Carmella, she's using James Ellsworth like she did a year ago.
Yo, she took advantage of it. Yo, she took advantage of the distraction, which I would have done the same thing.
Nah, here's the thing. I think
recycled material.
I think what we have here is I think Ben is just racist against redheads. Is that what it is, Ben?
I'm not racist against redheads. I'm just saying this right now. people have actually been putting Bloody Carmella down for a while now, and
We are talking about putting Carmella down. She's been champion multiple times already.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, well, she is a
she's
good
been basically face of the women's division in SmackDown for like already what 2 years now.
Yeah.
Other than Charlotte before her. I mean, come on. Becky Lynch deserves her title run.
I'm sorry. Carmella is a gimmick. She's not a wrestler. She's just a name.
Yeah, she's a gimmick.
She's not an in-ring performer.
Give her time and she could be. I could see her developing into a women's version of The Miz.
I'm just speaking for
she could be a women's Miz one day. Remember The Miz, how green he was? He was fucking terrible.
I agree. I'm not talking about her future. I'm not talking about her career and her future in WWE.
She's great on the mic. She deserved to win the belt. Maybe to win the Money in the Bank. I think that's fine. I kind of understand it looking back on it. I think it played well. I think her cash in was effective. I think the beating Charlotte was okay. The first time beating Asuka was okay. I don't necessarily agree with the second time beating Asuka, but I don't necessarily disagree with her having the belt, but I do think that Becky Lynch should take it, because Becky Lynch deserves to hold the belt again, if only for posterity. It doesn't have to be a big reign. It's just, God damn it, she's been on SmackDown for like a year and a half and hasn't held that fucking belt again. It ain't right.
Okay, I agree with Carmella. I do agree with Carmella being the women's champion, because we need those heel champions every once in a blue moon to make us cringe, to make us say, she can't wrestle, she doesn't deserve the title, we can't stand her, she's annoying. We need to feel those emotions when we watch wrestling, or we're not going to feel anything for the show. We need that. And that's what will also make it even greater when Becky Lynch, someone that we respect as a wrestler, takes the title from her. It's going to make us love it and endure that moment, because finally Carmella shuts the hell up. And as you say, for the future, Carmella could come back and be a great in-ring performer, a great wrestler. She can continue to train, and the next time she wins the title, maybe next time she wins the title, she's the Becky Lynch in our eyes. You know, a year, 2 years, 5 years from now, she could be the next Becky Lynch in our eyes. She could be a positive babyface character that all of a sudden is a great, because she can wrestle. I've seen it. I've seen 1 or 2 really good matches from her on SmackDown, leading up to her winning the title. She had a really good match.
Really good or good enough?
Okay, maybe I shouldn't say really good.
Okay.
But she had a pretty good performance. I think it was with Naomi. One of them was, and maybe the other was Becky Lynch. I don't remember exactly who. She had 2 good matches leading up to winning the title that showed potential. Definitely showed potential that one day she could be a great wrestler.
All right, guys, I gotta go. I gotta head back to work, but I'll try to listen in on the rest, and I'm not gonna text and drive. But if y'all are still going at it when I get to work, I might chime in a little bit on the text.
Okay.
All right. Take it easy.
All right. See you guys later.
See you, man.
Later.
Sheepshifter out the building, working double shifts over here.
With all that being said, I don't see Carmella right now as a great champion. She's an okay champion for what it's worth for the time being, but I wouldn't call her a good champ. I call AJ Styles a great champion.
Yeah.
Not someone like Carmella.
I'm just gonna switch to triple threat just to make it a little much easier.
You don't really have to change anything. There's not much left unless you guys really want to talk about NXT. But yeah, Samoa Joe is the next match. Samoa Joe versus Ty Dillinger. What's funny though is because in Discord, Soul's like, "Where's Samoa Joe?" And Samoa Joe actually had a match with Ty Dillinger today. So yeah, a little bit of a squash match for Samoa Joe. I mean, at least he's getting put into a match. I'm not sure what they're gonna do with him in the long run, but they put Ty Dillinger in that coquina clutch and end up winning the match. Anything about this match?
No, it was another. I feel the same way I feel
about
about AJ and Andrade wrestling. It was just pointless.
The thing is, I just, like I said, I think they just threw Samoa Joe in this match just to anti-Dillinger, just to tell us that, you know, they are here and to give them some action, you know. The thing is, I don't know what they're going to do with Ty Dillinger. They have him, and they just throw him in these squash matches. He's a jobber, basically, and I get that, but I don't know. It's whatever.
Yeah.
I just can't wait for the next story for Samoa Joe, because I really want to see Samoa Joe in some good action, man.
I can see there being like a United States Championship run for Ty Dillinger in the future. He's just got to do his jobbing for a little while, and that's just where he's at as far as creative goes.
I agree
at the moment, but he's definitely got the ability and the mic performance to be a good title holder.
Yeah.
He's very charismatic.
Yeah, true. Ben, anything?
Got nothing to really say about that. Got nothing to say about this.
Alright. Next is the...
Yeah, I just have to agree, like, what Dole was, like, literally saying, the match was real pointless.
Yeah.
But also talk about a little bit of title runs. Why am I now talking about? Why was I about to just talk about how many feuds has Ty Dillinger been in since going to SmackDown? I don't even know how many feuds he's been in.
No, I don't think any.
I've never really been in a feud in general.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Like, I don't know. Yeah,
I don't know.
If they could actually put him in a good feud, I think that could work for him.
Honestly, I think his gimmick is being thrown out the door. Because there's potential in his gimmick, the Perfect 10. Come on now. They have potential for that gimmick. And his gimmick is just being wasted on jobbing and not showing up.
I have the shirt, so I'll never forget.
It's just, there's potential for that gimmick. Maybe they should have used that gimmick for somebody else. Or maybe just give him like a mid-card run with some feuds or something. Because that gimmick could really be something. Right. And they're just wasting it. The Perfect 10 just sounds perfect as it is. It could be a big thing, but they're not running with it. They're not doing anything with it other than having that phrase there, the Perfect 10. There's nothing that gives that gimmick any meaning. You know what I'm saying? It's just wasted. It's just wasted. It's just a wasted gimmick. And I don't know. I don't know if you understand what I'm saying, but yeah. The next thing is a pretty funny segment, and I was looking forward to this. Is the Daniel Bryan Team Hell No, what is it? Team
funeral.
Hell No, funeral type thing.
Yeah, the Team Hell No funeral, hosted by the Miz, of course. You know, actually leading up to that probably potential Miz versus Daniel Bryan feud,
which I was hoping for when I heard that the Miz was going to be on SmackDown. So, this whole thing here, segment, promo, was pretty funny. I mean, we have Daniel Bryan coming in and basically going rampage. I mean, the whole promo from The Miz was great. It was amazing. The Miz always puts on amazing promos. And I'm hoping to see that feud, and I guess we are gonna see that next Tuesday is The Miz versus Daniel, because how Kane is out because of the injury, so that's what I'm seeing here. So hopefully, that happens. Anything you guys have to put on this?
It was wonderful promo work from The Miz, or segment, I should say, not promo.
Yeah.
It was hilarious from the beginning. It was him shaking the hands of the crowd, people in the crowd on his way down to the entrance. He nailed that handshake. Unfortunately, most of us have probably been to a funeral in our lives. I've been to many. And just the way he knelt down and shook their hand is exactly the way they shake your hand. Like he sold it so well, and it made it very and just Cade's head being on the pillow like that. Like,
I've never been on.
This is so. It was great.
Let's just say I've never been to a funeral. I've never been to one.
Oh, alright.
Yeah, because I was never allowed to go. Yeah, because I was too young.
Okay.
Yeah. That's the reason why I couldn't go to no funerals. I was too young.
The next match here is Kofi Kingston versus Eric Young, which was a decent match in my opinion. I mean, we had this match because of what went down at Extreme Rules Kickoff. Basically, we had the whole New Day out here and the whole Sanity out here, and we had a little breakout on the outside that distracted Kofi Kingston, and that's what happened. How Young got the win here. Killian Dane did something, I believe, where he threw Xavier Woods into Kofi that actually set up the victory for Eric Young. Yeah, I mean, I know your feelings all about Sanity, but what do you think about this match? Anything, you guys?
I think
the whole feud, I should say.
For Sanity.
Huh?
They're getting I think something big's coming for Sanity. They're getting over on a New Day multiple times now, multiple victories. Something big's coming.
Like I said before, I think Sanity are gonna be the ones that take the title away from the Bludgeon Brothers, and this is why they're getting Sanity's winning over New Day. So I can see that, and that's what I'm kind of hoping for, because I'd much rather see Sanity holding their titles other than the Bludgeon Brothers here. I don't know if you agree or not. So
agree with what? I'm sorry.
About Sanity holding the titles other than Bludgeon Brothers.
I would love to see that though. I'd love to see that.
I would, but I don't agree that they'll take it off with Bludgeon Brothers. I think they will take it off somebody else.
I really think they're gonna take off somebody else. We're just gonna have to see.
Yeah, we're gonna have to.
This is a man who once was known as the
now, this is the last match. We already talked about this match.
I don't really
the main event here, the last match. We already talked about it when we were talking about Extreme Rules. Yeah, it was a rematch for the United States Championship match, and we had, like I said, it was a good match until Randy Orton came out and kind of basically assaulted Jeff Hardy. Yep, assaulted Jeff Hardy, and it was pretty intense, I gotta say. The earlobe pulling thing, where he put his fingers through the hole of Jeff Hardy's ear, where he had that piercing, and just pulled on it. Obviously, he wasn't really pulling on it. It was, you know, it's wrestling. He made it seem like he was really pulling on it. Because if he was really pulling on it, I'm pretty damn sure it would have broke.
Jeff Hardy's had very large gauges in his ears. What Randy Orton was tugging on is just cartilage. He probably wasn't even feeling anything.
Yeah.
He was feeling very little, if anything.
Yeah.
Like, you could pull on your own ear right now and you barely feel it. You don't even hardly feel it at all.
Every step Randy Orton takes has a
imagine if you had huge gauges. Your ears have already been stretched.
Yeah.
I guarantee you didn't feel nothing.
Yeah. And like I say, I guarantee Randy wasn't really putting much force into it, because you can do it and make it seem like it's a lot you're doing. It's a WWE, like I said. Most of the stuff they do in WWE makes it look real, but it's not.
Yeah,
you know,
you can give your ear a little, just a little pinch in between your fingers, and it's gonna turn white.
Yeah.
What's gonna happen now?
Exactly. Now, we have Randy Orton coming back here. I don't know if you guys want to talk into this or what. But like we talked about, Jeff Hardy will most likely be out because of his injury in his back, and there's probably this whole thing that happened with Randy Orton and Jeff is probably most likely a setup to have Jeff Hardy out of wrestling for a while to recover and whatnot. And will we potentially see a feud with Shinsuke and Randy Orton, or are we going to see some kind of ally action here? Maybe not really a team up, but maybe Shinsuke will, you know, have an ally, which would be Randy Orton. Are we seeing the Legend Killer, or maybe the Newcomer Killer, maybe? Like, are we seeing that side of Randy again that we haven't seen in like 6 years or whatever?
Randy knows no friends.
Yeah, that's true.
This Randy Orton isn't going to have any friends.
Yeah,
he may team with Shinsuke a little bit, maybe, but he's going to just turn on him.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I don't see like a full initial alliance going on here. I mean, maybe a little here and there, but back when he was Legend Killer, he had no friends, and he went after whoever he went after, picking off legends, taking them down.
I was gonna say Edge though, because Edge.
Yeah, other than Edge, yeah, I understand that.
Well, what you said a minute ago was pretty interesting though, because it was perfect timing back when he was a Legend Killer, because there was a lot of legends left active in the wrestling company. Yeah. If he did like a newcomer killer type thing, that would be pretty interesting and be a big way to put over a lot of people in a short period of time.
Yeah. True.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, the only reason why Bray Wyatt is relevant in the WWE is because the whole feud with Randy Orton and the whole team up with Randy Orton. I gotta say, I'm coming out here and admitting it. If it wasn't for the Randy Orton feud and ally with the whole, you know, Wyatt family and whatnot, Bray Wyatt would be irrelevant at this point and would have never teamed up with Matt Hardy if they didn't go down that road. If you bring anyone into a feud with Randy Orton or some kind of alliance or something, I guarantee you they're going to be more relevant than they was before, and they're going somewhere. Because Randy Orton just doesn't get put into any kind of feud just for the shits and giggles. I mean, look, it's the same thing with Jinder Mahal. That's how Jinder Mahal basically became more relevant than he was before. That's what I'm saying. Right now, he's not that relevant because there's nowhere to put Jinder Mahal right now. And he already had his whole shtick happen and whatnot in his runs. But it's interesting. I'm going to have to see what happens because Shinsuke is the title holder. And we have this whole thing with Randy happening. So we're going to have to see what happens here. You guys want to go into NXT? Because honestly, I didn't watch NXT, so you know that already. And Sheep and Soul is the only ones that basically watch NXT every time. So I don't know.
I didn't catch the end of it, so I mean we don't have to go over it since Sheep isn't here.
Yeah.
Because I didn't watch. I don't care. I don't mind getting it spoiled for me, but I didn't see the end of it. So
did you watch it, Ben? Because if you didn't watch it, there's no point of going over it.
No, I didn't. Because because I was out all day on like when NXT was on. I was out.
I mean, I could go over it like really fast, just in case anybody watching wants to hear.
there's one thing that I did see about NXT was that amazing promo from Velveteen Dream. A lot of people are tweeting about was that amazing promo Velveteen Dream had, and I watched the clip myself. Huh?
That's where I paused and didn't finish watching the rest of the show, was when his promo came on. I didn't even finish seeing the entire promo. I had to pause it real quick.
Oh, I put the clip up on.
Went back to watch it.
Yeah, I put the clip up.
I'm gonna go back and finish watching NXT still.
Yeah, I put the clip up.
Like a little bit left.
Yeah. The clip is in Discord if you want to watch it real quick or not. It's only like 2 minutes long, I should say. It's pretty amazing promo. I mean, they put a lot of work into that promo. I mean, it's kind of... I could say it's kind of cringy at some points, but they did put a lot of work in that promo. And I would like to see more of that work.
Yeah, I was actually going to find out if there's any rumors now.
Alright, hold on. I'll go through this real fast.
Hold on, Ben.
Okay.
Let me cap NXT real fast. I don't want Sheep to be disappointed in me.
Oh, that's true.
Alright, we had Dakota Kai versus Lacey Evans. If you guys knew, Lacey Evans is a heel. She's been around for quite a while in NXT. I personally don't care for her. Dakota Kai's been in a lot of matches and situations with Shayna Baszler, where she's kind of like in that being bullied position by Shayna. And I kind of was expecting Dakota Kai to win this because I felt like she's already been put in that spotlight to be one of the next women to face Shayna, but I'm not surprised. Lacey Evans defeated Dakota Kai. She's been around a while, and I expected a slight push for her eventually, so not all that surprised by that. Cassius Ohno, who has become basically just a jobber, he had a squash match against someone named Rick Ramirez. Never heard of him before. I don't know if Sheep would agree with me on this or not, but to go from Cassius Ohno's whole stitch was he's the knockout artist. And to go from that to basically being a jobber and just losing time and time again, and then now all of a sudden you have a squash match where you knock somebody out right in the beginning of the match, which is playing along to your knockout artist thing. But is it believable now? Because you've already ran that gimmick and became a jobber, and then now you're trying to rekindle an old flame here with that. So to me, I didn't buy it. Cassius Ohno's just not very good on the mic or in the ring. I think if they really cared about him and wanted to push him, it should be at least a different, like a repackaged type thing. It's basically recycled material. That's the way I feel about it. And I'll have to talk about this with Sheep when he gets the chance, see how he feels about it. But moving on, they had a #1 contender. Okay, I didn't see this. This was the main event. This is the part I didn't see. Which I'm actually kind of excited to read the results of this. And it looks like Sheep may be listening right now. So it was #1 contenders match for the NXT Women's Championship between Kairi Sane, Candice LeRae, and Nikki Cross. So I'm just gonna. Sheep says he agrees on the KO thing. Cassius Ohno thing. Okay. Well, I haven't seen this match, so I'm just gonna scroll down and see who won this.
It was Kairi Sane.
Kairi Sane defeated Cross and LeRae. Wow, I'm surprised it wasn't Nikki Cross. I thought because Nikki Cross stuck around on NXT after losing to Shayna Baszler, that meant that she was in line to win the title soon. But maybe now she'll come to SmackDown?
Yeah, I know that like she has made a house show appearance on SmackDown.
Oh, really? Maybe this is it then. Maybe they just need her on this little bit longer to do a little work on NXT. If she's not going to get another shot at the title, then she's got to go to SmackDown soon. But, alright. Kairi Sane won, so we'll be seeing Kairi Sane versus Shayna Baszler soon. Maybe Kairi Sane will be the new NXT Women's Champion. Maybe it maybe if Kairi Sane takes the title off Shayna Baszler will be coming to Raw or SmackDown. Maybe it's Raw to team up with Ronda Rousey. Maybe they'll be the tag team because they are friends in real life and part of the 4 Horsewomen or whatever of UFC.
Yeah.
So
imagine seeing them as tag team
they would be deadly.
women title holders.
I don't like Shayna Baszler, but as a team, they would be a force to be reckoned with.
Yeah, I'm not a big fan of Shayna Baszler either. But, you know, it's whatever.
Wait, hang on. Okay, yeah, this is actually what I'm a little confused about, because, like, I know, like, I may have been listening to the Kairi Sane promo, I think she did after, or this may have actually been, like, a couple of weeks, like, I think it was last week ago. I know Kairi Sane did defeat Baszler in the Mae Young Classic last summer. So, we could actually be seeing we could see a rematch between those two at Brooklyn, which is actually going to be very interesting. Could Kairi Sane win the title, or is Shayna Baszler going to keep the title? That's what I'm kind of expecting. I don't know who to win.
Yeah,
that match.
I don't know.
Same. And 360 over here says that Cassius Ohno is a good wrestler in his opinion. Pod says a repackaged version would be better. I agree with that.
Well, he was good like on the independent scene, but since coming to NXT,
we could say that with a lot of wrestlers, though. We have a lot of wrestlers over here in WWE that has potential.
Different.
Huh?
Sometimes when you're a great wrestler on an independent scene, it's because you're the best of what you're surrounded by.
Yeah.
And you get put in the WWE with the other biggest superstars around the entire globe.
Exactly.
It doesn't shape up so well. Like, look at real sport. Look at football and basketball. Sometimes these guys are I know it's just, you'll understand.
Yeah,
sometimes you can be, you know, a collegiate athlete, the best, and your team wins the title or whatever the case may be for whatever sport. But you're the best player in college basketball, and then you get drafted to the NBA, and you're surrounded by the world's greatest basketball players, and now you're not doing so well. And it's kind of roughly you can take the same instance. You know, you're great in the indie scene, but then you're in the WWE and you're just overshadowed by people that are just better than you.
Yeah. Okay, here's like a little bit of a thing. Some bit of news I've just heard now. Paige announces a SmackDown Live Tag Team Tournament, and the winner faces the Bludgeon Brothers at SummerSlam. So, what's your guys' opinion on that?
I see Sandy winning it. Is what I see. From all their action recently, I see Sandy winning. If that's true with that whole tournament thing. Are we done with NXT, by the way?
Yeah.
Yes, we're done with NXT.
There's not really much left for rumors and news. I mean, we basically covered most of it as we were talking. I mean, we went over the whole thing about, you know, Kane, not Kane from, you know, WWE, but Kane from UFC. C-A-I-N, Kane.
Yeah, how do you pronounce his last name?
Velasquez, I believe it's said.
Velasquez?
Yeah.
Velasquez? Okay.
We basically talked about him showing up in the WWE Performance Center. And we talked about, you know, the whole thing of, Ellsworth, supposedly. He's done with the WWE. He's not going to be in the WWE anymore. His last appearance was at, Extreme Rules, supposedly. Like I was saying, Ellsworth is not getting paid for showing up in the WWE. He's basically freelancing in the WWE right now. So it's a possibility, man. We already talked about the whole Kane injury thing, how Kane is injured. We already talked about the Stephanie, next Raw, she's gonna make a huge announcement. We already talked about that. There's not much other than to say about. I have a few other news here about Rich Swann being hospitalized.
Yes.
You know about this? I posted a thing in the Discord. Did you guys look into this?
Today.
Yeah, he had a bad concussion at a show that he was at. He was in a tag team match, and he suffered a pretty bad concussion. So Rich Swann is hospitalized. If anybody cares, I mean, I'm not being rude. I'm saying Rich Swann was pretty good in the WWE, in my opinion. I liked him. And I hope he gets better. Anybody has anything on that? Alright. And then we had a few things. We have a pretty big news that was brought up about the re-signing of Hulkamania. Hulk Hogan. He's back in the Hall of Fame as well. And there was a big thing over this because of, he was fired and released because he was fired and released because of the racial slur about, the black people. I'm not going to say the word, but he said a racist slur. And Titus O'Neil basically flipped out, I guess, in the back. And he also wrote out his feelings on Twitter and whatnot. Titus O'Neil had a really big breakdown. Apparently, they were saying before the match even started on Raw, I guess when they were all in the back, and he found out when he showed up, and he found out that what's his name, Hulk re-signed and got reinstated and whatnot, that Titus O'Neil had a big breakdown, and he kind of let out his anger, and he was supposedly almost released from WWE. Well, not released, but suspended. But I guess he calmed down enough, and he was put in a match.
Didn't New Day took it to the States also?
Yeah, New Day also had their opinion as well. They wrote this whole huge paragraph, and that was posted on Twitter. You can go to their Twitter and read it if you really want to read it. I'm not going to read it, but they had something to say about it. But their response was a lot more calm, and it was more respectable than the response that Titus O'Neil gave. And I guess it depends on the person. Some people really are really offended by it, and some people kind of understand and kind of they'll remember it, and they kind of let it go, put it to the side. I mean, some people love to hold grudges, is what I'm saying. So there's that. There's the thing about CM Punk in the news as well. Ring of Honor wants to. Ring of Honor wants to sign CM Punk for a one deal thing. They don't want him. A lot of people are looking at this way. A lot of people looking at this really wrong, and they're overdoing it. A lot of people saying, "Oh, Ring of Honor wants to sign CM Punk. Oh my God, that's crazy. That's amazing. Oh my God, I can't wait." Nah, they only want CM Punk for one-time event at Madison Square Garden, and I'm not sure who they want him to fight or whatever, but CM Punk said he was done with pro wrestling and whatnot. People understood that. He gave his report on that. He said he was done with pro wrestling and that he was never gonna do it, and that he's moved on from it and whatnot. But there's somebody that CM Punk listens to, and that's somebody in Ring of Honor. And that somebody is, let me find his name because I totally forgot his name here. Matt Jackson. So yeah, he's a really good friends. Yeah, he's really good friends of Matt Jackson, CM Punk, and if it's anybody that CM Punk would listen to is Matt Jackson. So if there is some kind of, you know, little contract to go on with the Ring of Honor and their event in Madison Square Garden, maybe CM Punk will take it if it looks good for him. But it kind of defeats his whole, you know, statement of not joining, well, not being in pro wrestling anymore, and that he's done. Because if he does take it, it's only going to be for the money, right? And, like, what else? Why would you take it if you're done with, you know, wrestling? You know what I'm saying? You have, like, I don't know. I'm having mixed feelings about this because I'm a CM Punk fan, and I'm looking at it as if he's taking this, if he does take this contract, well, not contract, but deal for a one-time appearance, it kind of makes me see, it kind of goes against what he's after, well, what he's against. CM Punk, I don't know if you guys, I know Soul doesn't really know, I don't know if he does, but I know he didn't watch wrestling at the time, but CM Punk was against this whole thing about superstars making a lot of money and getting put in to main events and having their face plastered everywhere, even if they, like, if they put in a little bit of work. That people that have all this connect and that's putting in a little work and getting this whole big promotion and having their name plastered and selling a lot of things and not putting in the work that they should be putting in. And well, that was CM Punk's whole thing, and that's the reason why he left WWE, is because he put in a lot of work, and the people that didn't put in a lot of work was getting more clout than he was, or more rep than he was, and CM Punk wasn't his face wasn't plastered, huh?
What does he mean by put in a lot of work? A lot of work in the gym?
No, a lot of work in the industry is what I'm saying. A lot of work in the industry.
Like in the indies?
Like in the industry, in wrestling in general, and putting your work, like pulling your weight is what I'm saying.
Like as in, like wrestling in other promotions and building your way up to being recognized by the WWE.
Yeah, exactly.
Versus just being signed on as a celebrity.
Exactly, just being signed on and just being... Yeah, exactly. That's the thing here. And
well, this is where I defer because from a lot of the fan base, because I don't feel as strong. I do agree. I agree that someone who came up in the indies deserves respect and deserves.
That's what CM Punk was after. He was that dude that he put in a lot of work.
I don't feel as strongly about it as CM Punk does, obviously. I don't feel like it's a hot or cold type subject. I don't feel like just because
he feels very strongly on it. Yeah, I know.
I don't feel like just because you put in work, you should be plastered all over everything.
Yeah.
It's not about what you've done. Like, at the end of the day, the company doesn't give a shit what you've done in the past. It's about how much money are you going to make me today. Is what it's about. It's a business. Like, you need... This is a problem that I have with a lot of wrestling fans in general. They can't put their personal feelings to the side. They don't understand that this is not a sport. This is sports entertainment. This is not the NBA, the NFL, or the MLB.
But here's the thing with WWE. WWE is... It's political. It's a business... It's business... It's just... It's not something to be comparing with Ring of Honor or New Japan Pro Wrestling. It's a different world in the WWE, and I understand that. But I do understand
those promotions are doing the same thing. You just don't see it.
Yeah.
You don't think that they're not pushing the people that are selling the most merchandise as well? Yeah. You don't think they're not doing the same exact shit?
Here's the thing, though. It's just not as
noticeable because they're not the WWE. They're not.
Here's the thing with New Japan Pro Wrestling. Here's the thing with this. New Japan Pro Wrestling was irrelevant. It didn't become relevant until Bullet Club showed up. When Bullet Club showed up, New Japan Pro Wrestling became relevant. They sold tickets, basically. They made New Japan what it is today. And if it wasn't for the Bullet Club, and if it wasn't for people like them, New Japan would be irrelevant still. And that's the thing. You have people like Bullet Club coming into a different promotion and giving that promotion its basically spot in this whole lineup of promotion, like wrestling industry. You know, if it wasn't for the Bullet Club, like I said, New Japan Pro Wrestling would be nowhere right now. It would be nothing. Nobody would know what New Japan Pro Wrestling is. Nobody would know. Would you think that Chris Jericho would be in New Japan Pro Wrestling if the Bullet Club wasn't there to make New Japan Pro Wrestling a name that it is right now? That crossover with Ring of Honor and New Japan Pro Wrestling made it. It made that brand relevant.
And you know what? And I'm sure there's probably a community of people in Japan that don't like it. There's probably a big community that are sitting around angry that they allow Americans to come over and headline their shows and beat their champions. There's probably a community out there for that don't agree with it. They don't like it. They're probably getting the same backlash that wrestling fans in America give the WWE for Brock Lesnar right now. There's probably people that angry over there about it.
The thing like that is, you can't do that with WWE. WWE is so high on the pedestal. No matter what brand you're from, what promotion you're from, and you put a lot of work from that promotion to WWE, you're not going to be looked at as some kind of god, because WWE is the top dog of wrestling.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying?
But what that goes on to say, like, New Japan Pro Wrestling is doing the same thing that WWE does. They're putting on the biggest stars that they have available to them and pushing them because they're getting money. Because people are paying for tickets to see these guys and buying their merchandise. That's why they're getting pushed. They're not getting pushed because they came from the indies. They are in the indies. You know what I'm saying? Well, New Japan Pro Wrestling is the WWE of Japan. You know what I mean? They're the biggest promotion in Japan. So they're doing the same shit. Honestly, when it comes down to it, at the end of the day, from what I've seen, from what I've heard about CM Punk and his feelings towards the company,
I agree with him to an extent.
He's right to an extent, but at the end of the day, he comes off kind of like a bitch, and that's just me putting it straight.
No, I understand. I totally understand. Like, I'm a big CM Punk fan. I like them. I thought he was an incredible in-ring performer.
It's honestly disappointing to me.
He's good at promos and stuff.
Yeah, me not watching the WWE during that time stint and going back, because all my friends rage and tell me how great he was. So I went back and you know, I watched some of his promos, I watched some of his high-ranked matches, you know, and he does seem incredible. I wish I was watching. He's wonderful on the mic, great in-ring performer, a huge superstar. I'm disappointed that he feels the way that he did, to that extent, to where it led to him leaving the company. I wish he was still around. I wish that he didn't. If he really truly loved wrestling and cared so much, then why does he care for his face to be plastered all over the place? Why does it bother him so much? If you're showing up every day to work doing
it's because he never got main evented.
Why is he so...
He never got main evented.
But he may have gotten there eventually if he would have just stayed. They're not gonna main event him just because he's good.
That was his whole part of his pipe bomb. Is that whole thing about him doing a lot of work and not being main evented, while everybody else that's just been there and people that just getting main evented for putting in not nearly as much work as he put in and whatnot. And that was his whole thing about his pipe bomb. And that's the whole
And
reason why he left
it's
as well.
understandable for him to be upset about it, but he needs to go home after work and drink a beer and rant about it to his buddies and his family. Don't fucking just throw your career away over it. Like, he could have main evented WrestleMania eventually. He should have just kept putting in work. Like, honestly, this is where I defer with wrestling fans, because wrestling fans want to see that CM Punk headline WrestleMania. They want to see him hold the title.
I wanted to see that.
They want to see these indie guys who are good wrestlers. You want Finn Balor to be a champion. You want Seth Rollins to be a champion. You want Daniel Bryan to be a champion. So on and so forth. And I get that. I'm not taking anything away from any of these guys. But where I defer is that I see and I understand the business side of things. I would do the same exact thing if I was in Vince McMahon's shoes. I'm going to book whoever's going to make me the most money. At the end of the day, that's all that matters. It's about money. It's a business. It's sports entertainment. It doesn't matter what CM Punk's done in the past. It doesn't matter at the end of the day.
Hold on, guys. I'm getting kicked out again of a party. This always happens. It always happens towards the end of the podcast. All the time. It kicks me out. Kicks me out all the time. Hold on, guys. Hold on. I don't know why this happens all the time, but it does. Stupid ass shit. Just waiting for them to join back in. We're almost done with this podcast too. No, they sent me a party request. I'll just go join them. Yeah. It kicked me out. It always does this now. If you notice, this happened like 3 times. It happened 3 times. Every time. I don't know why.
Matter.
I get where you're coming from with this.
I'm not saying it's right in that, you know, indie wrestlers and stuff like that should be undershadowed.
Yeah.
But I understand that it's a business. I understand that it's about money, and I try to not get in my feelings about it. But sometimes I'm the same way. Sometimes I get mad too. I feel that way about Finn Balor. I think he should be a champion, but I try to push that away because I get the writing, the storytelling, what's gonna make us money. It's a business. That's what it's all about at the end of the day.
Mhm. Alright, we got a few other news here. Alexa Bliss.
I definitely have to go because it's 4 till 5, so
yeah.
You guys wrap up what you got left. So
yeah, we'll just wrap up what we have left here. There's not much left.
I'll be in the stream because I'm gonna smoke cigarette before I go to bed, so I'll be listening.
Alright, see you later. So the next bit of news we have here is Alexa Bliss not getting credit for ring work, apparently. So Alexa Bliss is pretty upset here. She's getting a lot more credit. I mean, Ronda Rousey's getting a lot more credit than Alexa Bliss at this point, and Alexa Bliss is pretty upset because she is champion, and she's pretty upset about it. And I kind of understand that. I kind of understand what she's saying and where she's getting at, because she's champion. She should get more credit than somebody else like Ronda Rousey. You know what I'm saying? I know Ronda Rousey's a big name and whatnot. I understand that.
Yeah, but Alexa Bliss has been longer, like in WWE more than Ronda Rousey. It's like, why is Ronda Rousey getting more credit than Alexa Bliss? This doesn't make no sense.
Yeah. I don't know. It's WWE. You know how they run things.
Average WWE, of course.
Yeah. Another thing we have here. I don't know if you have anything else, Ben, but the last bit of news I've here is nothing really major at all. It's the whole thing about John Cena. I know you posted this too, not long ago.
Yeah.
It's the whole thing about John Cena saying there is never going to be a heel turn. So John Cena basically putting out there that he's never going to be heel again, basically. So if you guys were looking forward to John Cena being heel, it's not going to happen.
Yeah.
Sorry to crush your dreams.
I really did want to. Yeah, and I did really want to see a Cena heel turn in the future, but now that's gone down.
I really wanted to too at one point, but at this point where John Cena is in his career, you can't really have a heel John Cena, because John Cena is a big face. He's a big baby face, and WWE revolves around John Cena. He loves WWE. He loves WWE so much that he's not working for money in WWE. He's a free agent. He's going around doing matches for free, basically. He's, from what I know and from what I read, he's not being paid for his matches. He doesn't want to be paid. John Cena even did an interview saying he would go on NXT just to show up on NXT, do a couple of matches, and not even have to be paid for doing those matches.
Yeah, there could be like some potential feuds for Cena on NXT. Like,
yeah, there could be some potential little feuds for him. I would like to see a match with Aleister Black and John Cena.
Imagine Velveteen Dream versus Cena.
Velveteen Dream. I'm not gonna say Velveteen Dream is not a bad superstar, but he's getting somewhere. He's getting somewhere from what I'm seeing. Velveteen Dream, when I first seen him, I would be like, oh, this guy, he's just dumb. I don't care for him. And that's what I said. I'm like, who cares? Velveteen Dream, who cares? But I see where he's getting to. I see the build up. I see the potential in him. I mean, there's something there for him. Soul says John Cena's not an active superstar, so there's no reason for him to turn. Yeah, of course there's no reason, but a lot of people want it. A lot of people want that heel John Cena. What was it? His name as a heel? The prototype?
The Doctor of Thugonomics.
Oh yeah. No, it was Doctor of Thugonomics. The first one was the prototype, I believe. And then it was Dr. Thugonomics.
I did not like the prototype. I'm saying that right now. Did not like that.
Yeah, exactly. So he says, Soul says Velveteen has improved so much. He's on the path to be a big superstar in the future. Yeah, exactly. That's where he's going. That's his path. In the beginning, when I first seen him, like I said, I didn't expect much from it, but I see it. I see where he's going. I see it. Yeah,
and this is like also what I also meant about like Velveteen Dream could potentially become a NXT champion, because like if he's actually to perform at that level, imagine him like being the NXT champion and then performing at that same level. He could have big things in the future. He could have big things.
Yeah, I remember the rap battles and the freestyle.
Oh god.
So
who remembers like the old classic rap between him and Kurt Angle?
Yeah.
Oh man, shades of old.
Ben, you got any other rumors or news before I wrap this up? Anything you want to add?
Say you've got some more names about the Mae Young Classic, but then I think the Mae Young Classic, to me, it's okay, but I don't know. Like what do you think about the Mae Young Classic?
I don't follow it, so you're asking the wrong person. I don't follow that stuff. I don't follow the Mae Young Classic thing. I don't follow UK tournament thing. I don't follow any of those sub freaking matches or sub tournaments or anything that's not SmackDown or Raw or anything of that matter. I don't really follow. Like, I don't really follow NXT as I should really follow NXT because I know NXT is good. The thing is, I can't fit it. I can't fit it in my schedule to watch NXT. I mean, I know it's not much, but yeah. Soul's heading to bed.
Oh, yeah, so I will say this right now. I know, which there are potential spoilers for NXT, but I'm like, I'm not gonna say them because I want to keep like that like a little bit of a secret for people who don't have not watched it yet.
Yeah, don't say it.
I won't say it. Not yet.
All right. I'm gonna end the podcast here. It was a pretty good one. Pretty long as well. I mean, we tried to shorten it down as much as we could because of the whole reason. Sheep had to go back to work. He's doing that double shifter, and Soul can't really stay on for long.
Yep.
So yeah, I appreciate you guys stopping by the stream. We will catch you guys in the next podcast next weekend, same time, same day. Yeah, hope you guys have a good one, and see you later.
See you guys.